Let's take a trip to the lake if you will. Shine up the goins, I got a little time to kill. Hear the sound of a dog bark, and it brings back the
what's up? Roll up the windows and box your deal. Yo, you can get half the ass right. Let me talk with the heels so we can keep the city like I'm on a one, two, like I can fly. Do that, San Francisco, so that you but not.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Gabriel Carbo back at it again. What's up, everybody in the chat? Thea's face, you know what's up. Calix, Calix, Thea's face. What's going on, Shadow Buddha in the building, my brother? Yeah. Today's episode, who are you? Owen Barfield, the Sagittarius Beliefs. Shout out to the Ballad of Gay Tony soundtrack in the background. Did it play out for? Yeah, so today episode, who are you? Under the Owen Barfield Act. Owen Barfield was a friend of Tolkien, the author of The Lord of the Rings, and also a friend of C.S. Lewis, author of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe series. Interesting dude. Yeah. Welcome, Colin. Hit the like, hit the smash, hit the subscribes. Let's check it out. What's really going on with this stuff? Let's see if these theories hold up. The weight of these theories can hold up. Let's see. What we got? Owen Barfield's core philosophy. Owen, you ever throw mama from the train? Owen loves his mama. Owen loves his mama. Yeah, that's it. So Owen Barfield's core philosophy centers on the evolution of consciousness, a process he believed is directly revealed through the history of language and the shifting relationship between human perception and reality. So revealed through the evolution of consciousness, your awareness, right? This is what the quote unquote war in Iran. This is what it's over. The war of the human consciousness. The war of where the human's attention's going to be. Where's your attention? Where's the attention and the attention? Where's it going to be? That's priceless. You can give it away. No one can really take it from you. Right? Even if you're in prison or jail, you still have your consciousness. Some people in prison are probably freer than people who aren't in jail and whatnot. I have to say, awareness is everything. It's the only thing that's happening right now. You know? So the evolution of consciousness, aka your awareness, is something that I'm involved with, and I think is one of the most interesting things ever. Right? That's what I mean. I like what I like. I like what I like. Donations are welcome. Support the channel with Buy Me a Coffee. Yeah, buy me a coffee, please, and thank you. Buy me a coffee. That would be nice. What was I aware of? What wasn't I aware of when that intro was going on? I was aware of the fact that it's a different version that I previously had planned on, but it's all good. Yeah. That was fun times. Dolores Park in the Mission District. Right there. But so back to Owen Barfield. Thanks, Shadow Boot. I appreciate you. Owen Barfield's philosophy. The evolution of your awareness, consciousness, revealed through the history of language. Language is the first way you interact with the world is our language. He's saying, huh? And the shifting relationship between human perception and reality. The shift constantly changing your relationship of human perception, what you perceive. That's another way of saying your awareness and the reality, right? Often called the ideas man of the Inklings, the literary group of C.S. Lewis, that's what I said, Lions Rich in the Wardrobe, and J.R.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings, The Hobbit. The idea. So he's the ideas man of those phenomenal, exceptional thinkers. So Barfield argued that our modern sense of being, maybe it wasn't always like this, sense of being a detached observer, right? Life is just going by. You're not doing anything to life. It's coming to you. Detached Aquarius in a world of dead matter is a historical development rather than eternal truth. So eternal truth means that's what's really going on. That's what reality is not dead matter. You're not just at heart, at the core, you're not just a detached observer. According to Owen, according to me, I'm going to take his theory and do better with it and add to it. So the evolution of consciousness, Barfield described, the history of human experience as a movement through the three distinct stages of participation. Right? The evolution of consciousness. Think about your own evolution of consciousness when you were prenatal to when you're a infant, toddler, preteen, teenager, young adult, dickhead, middle-aged adult, dickhead, uh, elderly, beautiful person. Yeah. The evolution of consciousness. The original participants. In ancient times, humans did not perceive a sharp divide between themselves and nature. Meaning was seen as innate in the world, and language reflected a primordial unit where words simultaneously describe physical and spiritual realities at the same time, in real time. Breath and spirit. If you don't have the breath, that's you're done. Humans did not perceive a sharp divide between themselves and nature. Look at any Taoist nature picture in from China, right, or Taiwan for that matter, and you'll see man getting water at the river. You'll see a beautiful landscape with bamboo trees, maybe some animals, a little bit, green, lush forest, misty hill. Then if you don't see the man, you have to look very, very closely at it to find the man, because they know that they have a knowing that man and nature are one. You cannot escape nature. You can be in your house, whether it's a hovel, uh, whirlpool, refrigerator box, or it could be a penthouse on Park Avenue. It's still nature. You're still in nature, right? Let's see what we got. Dallas. Here we go. Here's an example of what I was talking about. Yeah. Inklings. What up, Nude Guru? Don DeMarco. How are you? Good evening. Good evening to you, good sir. It's like QB Willie, Shadow Buddha. Who I sound like? Good. How are you? Good evening, brother. Look at all this money I have. Shout out to QB Willie. I'm gonna go to Cancun and get some hoes. Huh? All right. So what does the text mean? Look at this. It'll say like man looking at a waterfall. You could barely see the man, right? I mean, this is like a crazy, bigger than most of them usually are. But look, man staring at waterfall. You could barely see him. You see this look, right? See if you can find him. Beautiful, right? He's one with the nature, bro. That's like an epic scene. When you're zooted off some like good gas, some cannabis, or something stronger. Or if you've been in those spaces but you're sober, even and you're just in the moment, you can really, if you were able to zoom out from yourself, you could see this is fucking epic, this picture, right? This photo. But that's how it looks every day, wherever you're at. If you were to be able to zoom out from yourself, Inklings. So Nintendo got the name for their species, and yeah, I think that's it. The Inklings, right? From them, those three: C.S. Lewis, Owen Barfield, who was the idea man, and J.R.R. Tolkien, Lord of the Rings. Okay, good. I reminded you. Now I'm curious. Nude Guru says it was the who you are reference to the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland. Iconic to the cocoon thing. This topic will be fun. Yes. Now, if we can pick up where we've been leaving off with the Nude Guru and crew, NPC crew, like no, the vehicle, the cocoon is the vessel, right? It's the vessel, and it's very important. The cocoon. Who are you? Reference to the caterpillar in Alice in Wonderland. I wonder if Owen Barfield had some thoughts that influenced C.S. Lewis. Had to. Before Enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. Right. After Enlightenment, chop wood, carry water. You see? You see? Yeah. So, man looking at waterfall. We are nature. No divide, really. You're not a dead observer of nature. That's the modern way of looking at it. So-called modern way of looking at it. Shout out to Mac Dre in the background. You BZ for Sheezy. Back to Owen. Owen. Did I? Hopefully that's the one. Yeah. Go back a little bit. Do we have the same AI model? Okay, we switched up a little bit. Evolution of consciousness. So Barfield argued that human consciousness is not static. Human awareness, consciousness is not static. It has fundamentally changed over time. This is not just a history of ideas, thinking differently about the same world, but a change in the way humans actually perceive reality. A change in the way we see reality is actually something that occurred yesterday. Having a very long and thoughtful and real conversation with Dennison yesterday. I hadn't talked to the man in over a year, seems like. We've had these conversations before, but we had this conversation, and it was like, man, there's no separation really between the not only with nature and stuff, but between us in the sense that we're genuinely interested in trying to see where the other person was coming from. And this was not the case the day before, where, I was trying to see how we were different, me personally, and to change the way humans actually perceive reality. What do you guys think about that? You ever had that? Like, you've been thinking a certain way about somebody, but the way you just switched up your perception of how you look at them just completely changed everything. AKA your reality just was shook and changed. Yeah. Oh, download. Okay, good. Back to this. After this. Perceive reality. Owen Barfield. Oh, we got two we're going back and forth. Origin and final participation. He described the historical trajectory of consciousness in three major stages. An ancient, excuse me, or original participation. In ancient times, humans did not feel separated from nature. They perceived an inner meaning or spiritual direction. They perceived an inner meaning or spiritual direction in the outer world. They saw the inner meaning in the outer world. Language from this era shows us an ancient Semitic unity, a unity together, where one world, like plenum, meant both wind and spirit simultaneously. Not just that there's this wind and then there's spirit, but it's one and the same. The wind, the wind and the spirit. That sounds very magical, almost poetic. Kind of like talking about poetic feel to it. Wind and spirit. The desert of non-participation. Non-participation. Well, this is like this other one, original participation, would be make the world very dynamic and make the mundane, normal, somewhat boring world seem magical, right? Instead of seeing the wind blowing the trees, well, at the same time, yeah, it's wind blowing the trees, but you also have a knowing that on another level, it's also the breath of God or the breath of life that everyone shares blowing through the trees. Or that's the tree's breath blowing. I sound like a poet now. While with the rise of modern science and rationalism, humans became detached observers. Sounds very boring and static. While this granted us individual freedom, true autonomy, right? I'm different than nature. I'm a creature in nature that can think rationally, and objective scientific knowledge. It also led to idolatry. That's a bad word, right? Mistaking our mental representations of the world for independent, mindless objects, and also sucking out the life that was previously there. Yeah. That's one stage. The middle stage, idolatry. Maybe this is the first one is more like animistic, original participation. Everywhere you go is like a Mickey Mouse Fantasia cartoon. Everything's alive and jumping with, pulsating with the being pregnant with the opportunities. Yeah, but then it became idolatry. Modern science pushed back on this stuff, trying to classify it, which led to idolatry, where once we were just not giving into the astonishment, but living in a magical world, to living, being in awe of these things that used to be just normal per se, but however, nevertheless special. Ben, looking at these things that were just taken and giving into the astonishment and be like, oh wow, look how special this tree is that's blowing with the breath of life. That is so amazing. It's above me, right? That's idolatry where it could start. It becomes a mindless object instead of being alive. Then we got the final participation. Barfield's goal was for humanity to move towards a final participation where we gain our connection to nature, but this time consciously and freely through the deliberate use of imagination. And both C.S. Lewis and Tolkien definitely used their imagination. C.S. Lewis made languages for his book, his fictional stories. They were real languages, right? So consciously and freely, final participation through the deliberate use of imagination. So put a 1 in the chat if you think imagination is important. Number 3, language as fossils of consciousness. Barfield used etymology and philology as tools for philosophical archaeology. Philosophical archaeology And seeing where the philosophy came from. He believed the history of words reveals the inner history of the human soul. The inner history, right? Maybe the prerequisite to the language machine. The language machine, right? Heaven on earth. The language machine never stops, never keeps going. Just going and going and going and going. Yeah. Fossils of consciousness. Inner history of the human soul. Language. History of language. Poetic diction. He argued that all modern abstract words were originally concrete metaphors. Like love and all that were concrete metaphors, meaning a concrete metaphor is like literally something that's real. Poetic with poetic license. Concrete metaphor, not abstract metaphor. Polarity. Borrowing from Coolidge, he saw reality as a reconciliation of opposites or unification of opposites coming together. Subjectively, subject, object, matter, mind, that existed only by virtue of each other. Okay? Unification of opposites, everything coming together. The power of imagination. I'm going to glance over that. The recollection of opposites. The power of imagination. For Barfield, imagination is not just a literary faculty, but a way of knowing. A way of knowing, not just for playing. It's fun to play with your imagination, but it's a way of knowing. Neville would agree with that. It is the essential tool for overcoming the modern sense of alienation and rediscovering means in a seemingly dead material world. That's why the children, they remind us that. So Ben is right in front of me when I'm all in my head trying to look up knowledge for different things. It's the knowledge of the imagination is right in front of me. Expressed through Ben, expressed through me and you. There we go. That's Owen. Owen. Very cool. Very cool. What does Michael and friends have to say about them? Who are you?
To turn outward again then once more. But we've really spoke about the importance of feeling and understanding consciousness and understanding the self. Would you speak a little bit about, the difference of feelings that a man gets from being part of the crowd compared to being one of the outsider? And then maybe we'll get into a little bit about how the suppression of feeling is one of these main mechanisms that the architects of control use. Because we see it in so many different ways around us, whether that's through, this excess eating or the different medications or the constant stimulus from the media and all these different sort of gadgets and whatnot. What are your thoughts about that and how the architects of control suppress feeling maybe, and maybe the difference between the outsider and the crowd man?
Good point. Because remember, although we've just talked now about this new science that's looking at that, and it does come from eminent sources, don't mistake me. They're not going to change their paradigm because of it. This is an important... Well, McGilchrist's work is important. Has anything changed in science when he came up years ago? No. Sheldrake's work on morphogenic fields, I could name many. Way back when the holographic theory came to light, has that changed any paradigms? No. See, they just marginalize. That's the same with this new discovery in the neuroscientific world. The same men who discovered this thing about feeling have also spoken about the polyvagal system. That should have already made a
link is in the chat. Polyvagal
revolution in what we know about biology. It hasn't. It came and went. They've spoken about, what was the other thing? Very, very important thing. Jesus, it just slipped my mind. But there's been other discoveries by some of the same coterie, each one in their own way earth-shattering, you see?
Ian McGilchrist, the whole about the right brain, the sort of intuitive thinking, the macro picture, the holistic sort of way.
That's right. All of that would shake you up if you knew about it, right? it'd be amazing. I guess, as I say, Dr. Stuart Hammeroff, there's can really get into this and find out how many earth-shattering paradigms there are. But never does it change. The status quo remains, it trudges along, relentless, crushing everything under its, they're not so easy to take down, sadly. They're institutionalized, and they have a whole system in place. There's some brilliant authors out there that would just tear it to shreds,
Oh, Darwinism,
and so on. Yeah.
Tear it to shreds.
But many of these guys, like you're talking about, Sam Harris, his wife is a Buddhist, you see, so they have a weird dark side in which they or their cohorts and friends are often very deeply immersed in this Eastern palaver.
Hear what he has to say here.
Because they have worked it out that, yes, some Eastern paths are down on the self, right? And they believe there's no self. These are this Eastern nonsense, right?
Yeah, that's the whole non-duality, right? No self.
And so they think that they
Buddhism said that.
found a home. These high priests like a certain amount of this jive. And their wives do, particularly, right? So they go along with it. It's a new trend.
What the fuck?
They're into the new age. They're into these exotic paths from the East. I have no time for it. All of that stuff boils down to basically, as you mentioned earlier, auto-hypnotism. And one can get into all of that, about how that works.
Auto-hypnotism. This is like a lot of the red pill guys, creators. They have all these information in classes, and they always had a couple years ago, they always had like a hypnotism course, or they'll hypnotize you. That was like their big sell, right?
But one look objectively at their culture and the utter poverty.
Hey, what's up, Max?
Gnostic elements, of the hatred of the body and the hatred of the world.
Hypnotism.
Immediately should put an intelligent person, a really
Red,
intelligent
how you
person,
doing, man?
onto it that this is not for us. It's not for the West.
Good to see you.
This was born in darkness.
Born in darkness. Woo.
It was already born in corruption. Because if you actually get into it, you'll find out that the pre-Vedic, this is going way back, before 6,000 years.
Okay.
You'll find out it was a very different thing. And it's only when the Puranas and the Vedas and the Upanishads and the Shastras were written that now you get the control of the priest, who immediately start to misinterpret the earlier, what I would call pre-Vedic teachings.
Mm-hmm.
But nobody in the whole wide world has read any of that stuff. They don't care to go in and look at it. And so they just, they just go with India from this post-Vedic period. And it's nothing but lies. But it's all decorated up to look real holy.
And I think he's he's half Indian, Michael Tsarion, and half Irish. His family was initiated into some of these, I guess you would say, modern day mystery schools. There were like bigwigs in it, and he broke away from it.
Some amazing work has been done, but this is all under the power of the priest. You see? But man needs the authority. See, along with this persona that you talked about, comes this need.
Persona. Persona is the mask. Jung came up with that term, Carl Gustav Jung. The mask that one wears to interact with the super id, right? The society, right? The collective. It's a mask people wear. Persona means mask in Latin.
To secure it. The persona is a pretty shaky thing on the individual level, and it's no different on a collective level. But then, remember, we also said
personal. Are you a person?
Ego that helps create this persona.
Superego. That's it.
A section of the superego is called the ego ideal, and then that's both. It's ambivalent as well. It seeks for heroes, and of course, the parents usually are installed, unless they're bloody terrible people, right? But sometimes, sadly, even if they are terrible people, the child doesn't know that, and is still embodying the parents as the first heroes. But on a good day, you do seek for legitimate heroes.
Yeah.
But on a bad day,
A mentor.
you seek for heroes and they're not really heroic at all. And they're there as these figureheads which will help secure, your mask. You see?
Your mentors are, you use them to like calibrate your mask, your persona, how you see the world. We see this in astrology with the whole your rising sign, where the sun was the opposite when you were born. Your rising sign, you may be your sun sign, the month and the date you were born. That's your core essence of your awareness, your consciousness. And your sun's and your rising sign, your persona, similar to the persona, and in that, it's how others see you. It's the style you do your sun sign, how they see you. And it's funny how, as we grow up and gain confidence in our sun sign, until then, the scaffolding is your persona. We learn about ourselves through how others interact with us. I had a great conversation, I guess with Dennison, and we were talking about the importance of honest criticism, being critiqued, right? And especially, it's kind of like what Michael was saying right there, having it done by someone, that has some type of, authority or intelligence over you. And there's different forms of intelligence, right? That you can really take their advice. They really know, these people really know what they're doing in calibrating how you act and telling you how you act, right? However, we're doing the random Joe Smo on the streets doing to each other, and we're getting bad cues if we're not paying attention, right? And that's the only evidence we use to calibrate your persona, which is not your true core self or awareness, but it's just the clothing of it, right? What's going on? Hurricane Perro in the building. Peace, bro. Peace, bro. Peace, 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 God. Peace, God. Peace, God.
Be okay, because I know I'm not. As a real nigga with feminine energy, I am not okay with that.
That's it. We're okay with it. Now, Shadow Buddha says, I personally do not believe in an ego concept myself. I can see that. The ego, like, all you motherfuckers use the term ego. You sound like cookie cutters. But then when we look back, Freud did use that term a lot. He was no cookie cutter psychologist. He's actually the father of modern mental health in a sense. And we can say, and psychoanalysis more in particular, ego, the pinpoint part of the edge of your consciousness that you hyper focus with things. And what is on thing? What is the pin? What is it on? What is it the pinpoint of? What is it on? Well, it's on yourself, your core essence, right? The self. But what if you believe there's no self? Then there's no ego.
In other words, you choose wrongly. Now, don't we see that the media is expert at producing these Frankenstein, these horrors?
Well, yes, Shadow. What about ego death? You say. Well, how can something be born? How can something die if it was never born? Right? Riddle me this. Riddle me that. Yeah. Let me know what's going on. Hey, what's going on, Max? How's it going, man?
Good. How you doing?
Pretty good. Pretty good. It came up when I was talking about, for a second, I was talking about hypnosis.
Yeah,
Hypnosis.
and ego. Yeah, I used to practice hypnosis, so
okay,
a little bit of insight into that. But,
all right,
yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, we'll start with the ego, like you said first. Yeah. Shadows says he doesn't believe in the ego, the concept of ego, and then Calix was like, "What about ego death?"
Yeah, I find
and
that.
Shadows said he perceived Could be perceived as a spiritual awakening from a Buddhist perspective, ego death. But what do you think about ego?
I've actually, in some conversations, tied ego to the soul as the only real impression or information that really gets passed on. Like when we die, the concept went like, your lifetime, you build a certain energy pattern. You have a biofield. You could call it a soul. I don't know if that's the part of it that actually goes away or goes on, but possibly some impression of that. And that impression would probably be layered with what we would call an ego, or how you handled things in life and how that energy integrated itself into you.
It's entangled with it, right?
Yeah. Because I don't think a lot of memories or things would pass on, but feelings, emotional awareness might. I think more possibly in my perspective.
Yeah, I think so too. More even than thoughts. I think feelings are the core. Hey, man, the core of your soul. A lot to your feelings. Yeah.
Maybe they're the currency of the universe too. It's feelings.
Yes,
like a pretty rare thing.
This is why in this age of the modernism and being like, I was going over Owen Barfield, who was like homies to C.S. Lewis and J.R.R. Tolkien, those authors, right? He was like they called him the ideal man, and he had this concept of how originally the way humans looked at reality was there was really no distinction between nature and themselves, and I'm trying to think how that goes with what we're talking about, but yeah. The ego, right? The ego, and the soul, right? The soul.
Yeah, I think they're kind of intrinsically linked.
Yeah. I was looking at those pictures of paintings of the Taoists, man getting water at the river, and it's like this big landscape of a river, or we were looking at a waterfall. Man stands by a waterfall. You can't even see the man. He's just small, but he's part of because he's one with nature,
He's part of it.
He's there though if you look close. Yeah. They're reminding us about the interconnectedness of it.
Yeah. What shows?
Yeah. Shadow said the ego is a mental construct of a story we tell ourselves that creates false sense of stability. Yeah. Continuity. It's false, but like I always say, it's real enough. And continuity. Hey, it's continuity. Damn, I didn't even read that.
Well, it's a mental construct of story. Well, there's good egos and bad egos too, right? So it doesn't offer a sense of stability in a lot of cases. Continuity, okay. Whereas experience is actually a shifting, moving moment. Yeah, but it builds your energy pattern. Your way of reacting to the world is basically your ego.
And that, which is, according to this definition, it's a false sense of stability.
So somebody could ask one person a question and get a violent reaction, and ask another person the same question and get a calm response, or even a happy response, right?
Well, that's why that shows you
is kind of that shows ego, right?
Yeah, and that could show you why that ego is false sense of one person can be this and the other person can be that, because it's stable as hell, and it's continuity for sure. I woke up to this morning, I still remember what happened last night, but it's unstable nevertheless. It's false nevertheless, because I can't express exactly how things went, right?
No, but it had an impression on you that will stick with you for the rest of your life.
Oh yeah, yes. But with that said, I'm saying that, and I'm not trying to downgrade that. That's the beautiful thing, and one of the most high-powered things. It's just that it's still false. It could be seen as false. It could be seen. I don't know. Yeah.
In some sense,
so
you could. You can change your ego.
I'm okay with that.
I'm all right.
Yeah, you can change your ego. Yeah, you can, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. The more experiences and stuff you have over time, habits. I think it was Barfield that talked about, or was it Barfield or Plato that, or Aristotle talked about habits, the importance. Aristotle, the importance of having habits. That's a good thing. You want good habits. That's how you solidify being good, quote unquote, good, and doing what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah. No, an
Habits,
ego is not. Yeah, I agree, Shadow Buddha. An ego cannot exist as a static, fixed entity.
Yeah.
It'll always be changing.
Yeah. Instead of a single, look at Mac Dre right there. That's a famous rapper from where I live, a legend, and like look at all the different looks he has, constantly changing, right?
Oh yeah.
Like constantly changing, right? So instead of a single soul or ego, Buddhism breaks down human experiences to 5 constantly changing environments: the body, sensations, perceptions, mental formations, and consciousness. When you go through one of your remote viewing exercises and practices, Max, do you hit all those things more or less? When you try to get us in that relaxed state or the open state?
Let's see. What are we hitting there?
Body. It says like Buddha breaks down human experience into 5 constantly changing elements: body, sensation, perception, and mental formation, and consciousness.
No.
Okay.
No. Actually, all I do is I tell people to let go of their ego, let go of their thoughts, close your eyes, clear your mind, and tell me what you see.
So the direct opposite. So when you do the direct opposite of those, focusing on those things, you open yourself up to something else that's probably always there.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's constantly messages coming into the third eye. We just don't focus on them very often.
Okay.
Yeah. And when you give it a direction to go in, it goes there.
Mm-hmm. So Lindsay says she's wrong. I was wrong. What's up, Lindsay? Good to see you. Ashkenazi Jews trace their origin to the Rhineland region of Central Europe, primarily that's now Germany and France around the 10th century. Where was your first comment? I'm trying to think. Where did that come from? All right.
No.
Mm-hmm. Hey, Marilyn, good to see you. Good to see you. Okay, so Shadow Buddha says an ego cannot exist as static, fixed entity because our sensation, perceptions, and mental formations and consciousness are changing every day, second by second, minute by minute, day by day, stream by stream. You're not the same person you were, Max, when you came here 5 minutes ago.
No, I'm not.
Yeah. And then my mentor, A-list Kafis, would say, Are you a person? What's a person? What's a person? You know what I mean? It's like, well, a person is me. A person is human. Okay. Well, then you can go, what's a human? You just keep. That's an exercise, a Zen meditation, I think, too, when you just keep on going further and further and further.
Are you nothingness, or are you?
Yes.
Can you experience nothingness?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Not even when you're gone, probably. That's what happens when you take psychedelics. Bean says, I stopped questioning because it leads to negative. There's much evil controlling the world. Ooh, okay. Evil.
Well, that is an unfortunate fact.
Yeah. I was saying earlier that that you were talking about the evolution of human consciousness, and Owen Barfield said it's based in language, humans' relationship with language, because that's the first thing that they interact with the world with for a lot of people. And I was talking about the evolution of consciousness. What is consciousness? It's your awareness, right? Mm-hmm. Where you put your attention to. And I was thinking, like, that's what I see the war in general, this Iranian-U.S. war conflict is kind of like a battle. When people talk about Armageddon, like the battle for the human consciousness, the human awareness, where are you going to be focused on? Are you going to be focused on this fear stuff and violence, or are you going to be focused on whatever else there is? communicating and having a good time, right? And
Yeah, we should
helping
be
each other.
communicating and having a good time, of course.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. But yeah, the collective consciousness is trying to be hijacked to the extreme this last week.
Yeah. Well, there are negative emotions that can be used very well, like anger. That can be used very well. If they might be trying to instill fear, but really they might be instilling anger.
Yeah.
Because people are seeing through the whole facade of things, right?
Yeah, they see it through it.
So
every day, man, it's like wild how Max, like before, how we had to go to these niche channels or
yeah.
in places. Now it's like take your pick of how you want the conspiracy exposed, right?
Yep.
How do you want it? Do you want it from a secular point of view? Do you want it from a religious point of view? Do you want it from a liberal or conservative or new age? It's like everyone's breaking shit down now, huh?
Yeah. It's good to see. People are calling their shit out, you know?
Yeah, yeah. The mind said the age of secrets would be over. That's what the main point of 2012.
Yeah.
2012, yeah.
Yeah, I always wondered if we'd become psychic at that point, you know? Are we going to become psychic? Like, it's almost possible. It's possible now electronically. We can do that electronically. So,
yeah. I'm talking to you right now with these devices. I'd say that you're kind of metaphysical. I don't know if the correct word is psychic, but yeah, you definitely have something going on where you can communicate. Because that experiment, that one we did, I saw something. I saw something. Yeah, I saw something. Man.
Everybody's psychic.
Yeah,
that's the thing they want to hide from you too. Is we do have this extra communication system that they don't want you using.
Mm-hmm.
You know, gives you things like intuition and forethought. You know, precog. You know,
right? Yeah. Everyone is.
Yeah.
Bean says, where we are at now could be a result of man trying to have an upper hand, to be prepared, but a result of that has had negative consequences. That's just off the top of the dome. Yeah, well, yeah, it's getting in the way of ourselves. I think what he's saying. When it rains, sometimes we have these big slug smacks, snails, and then I remember. I don't do it here, but I used to do it at home with smaller snails, and like they'd be all over the path, and I'd be like, oh, like let me move one out of the way so it doesn't get stepped on. And in doing so, I stepped on two. Yeah, I'm like Jesus. Just let things be sometimes, right?
I find that hilarious because I have had an exact similar experience. There was this valley that I go through, and it's got a bridge, and every year the snails come. And you can't avoid them. They're everywhere.
Yeah, they're everywhere. It's almost as bad as that. Remember that famous National Geographic of the Christmas Island, the red crabs? You ever see that picture? Remember that? That was wild, right?
Yeah,
all over the place. Yeah,
just everywhere.
Everywhere.
That's what the snails were like. Yeah, you can barely walk. Yeah,
it's an invasion, migration. One man's invasion is an invasion for the farmer, right? But for some dude whacked out on his mind on psychedelics or just life off naturally, like, oh my God, what a beautiful migration, you know. The invention of the wheel and the motor doomed us. Yeah. Ooh.
Now you're not allowed to help turtles to the shoreline. That's illegal.
Doing what?
To helping turtles to the shoreline is illegal.
Oh, it's illegal. You're not even supposed to touch them or anything, probably, right?
Right.
Yeah.
You get to watch the seagulls eat them.
Damn. Oh shit. I always wondered about those nature programs. Like, why don't they ever help them? I actually saw one when they actually helped these penguins.
Yeah.
They were trapped in a ravine. Did you see that before?
No, I haven't seen that one.
Yeah. They're like, fuck, they're not gonna be able to get out of here. They're all gonna die. It's like so they said fuck it. They started digging a path for them, and they got out. Yeah. Yeah, but I digress.
We're supposed to be stewards of the wildlife. We're supposed to help them. That's
Yes, right.
no.
All right. Let me help you by getting you in my belly. When did that happen? Yeah,
Well, a long time ago. Probably from
long
the
time ago. Yeah, probably from the beginning. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I was watching. The family and I were watching Gladiator 2, right?
Yeah.
With Denzel Washington, and there's a scene where they're having a Roman like party symposium or something, and all the aristocrats, high society status, right there, and Max, they had literally a rhinoceros head on the table,
Ew.
like you would have a pig's head. Yeah, like eating. It's disgusting.
That's so fancy.
Yeah, very fancy. Yeah, yeah. Rhinoceros head. Yeah. Then these two, like I guess these Nubian slaves or something, they were scraping the rhinoceros's horn, probably maybe to get some medicinal stuff from it or something. Yeah, yeah. I think the medieval people used to eat a lot of weird stuff too, huh? Back in the day, all kinds of stuff. Yeah, weird animals, flamingos and stuff like that.
Yeah, the Asians have all kinds of weird medicine.
They too.
Like rhinoceros horn
yeah.
is like supposed to be an aphrodisiac or something. Give you virility, you know.
Yeah, tiger penis.
It's long and hard or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah. There's a science to symmetry of that, like for vegetables and natural foods, right?
Yeah,
like lima beans for your, kidney beans for your kidneys.
Yeah.
You know, cauliflower for your brain.
Yeah, walnuts for your brain, you know.
For your brain, it looks like it. Yeah. Rhinoceros horn for your willy. Yeah. Yeah. Humans are a psyop for sure. No, that's right. Life as a psyop, Marilyn. Yeah, I'll show you too. Like, I really believe that I had the reason my channel got at first got like so many views is because I used to post a lot of what do they call it? Like took too much videos, too much drugs videos from a subreddit. I post them on YouTube, my channel, and that's what I would name this. I named the segment "Life as a Psyop."
Okay.
Yeah, and the reason I named it "Life as a Psyop" too is because back then I would post a lot of videos to Reddit and so I can get views and stuff, and I wanted to make it somewhat resonate with the conspiracy subreddit that would like play my videos, right? So I'm like, hey, is a person taking like too much crack or something? But I'm gonna put life as a psyop, right? So let me show you some of that stuff. I think I still have it here.
I like the Tweaker Geographic.
You like the Tweakers? The Tweaker Geographic. Yeah.
They on Tweaker Geographic.
Yeah. Tweaks. Yeah. This is it. Let me see. Oh, weird stuff like this. There we go.
The Swabby Patch. Okay.
Let's see. This guy took too much special. What was it called? That synthetic weed.
Oh yeah, that'll mess you up.
Who?
Synthetic weed will mess you up.
Yeah. This is life as a psyop right here.
Where you went at? Oh, there you go. There he come. He come. That's him right there. Get out the road, man.
He said, "Hell."
He's wrapping his dick.
Yeah, make sure it's still there. Where's he going?
Oh, his pants don't fit. That's why he's holding them.
See how come home you be straight? You know what I mean? Now you.
Yeah, we're our worst enemy sometimes.
Going to hell, boy.
Be our best ally.
Go to yourself, stupid motherfucker.
Let's go back to the video you were watching. That was kind of interesting.
Sure. Let me see this.
With the ego and
Okay.
that.
Right. I'll get to that. Thank you for reminding me. According to Freud, Shadow says the ego is static, fixed entity.
Oh,
We can point at, however, this conflicts with the aggregates mentioned earlier. Different than what Freud says, right?
So-
Nothing can exist by itself.
hmm.
It has no force energy bond to make more nothing. To make more nothing. You need something else there, she's saying.
Well, yeah, what she means is that we have to be connected energetically and such to everything else, I think.
Yes.
We do produce energy from food.
Wait, wrong thing. Wait.
But I do think to operate as a proper circuit, you probably have to be connected to the rest of it. Otherwise, you just be
Yeah,
like,
you do. To be the most conscious, you have to have everything, all the lights on, physical, spiritual, mental.
That we might easily, you see, attach to. Been going on since the beginning of the media. It could be a pop icon, Jimmy Savile, Gary Glitter. I don't know what. Look at Beyonce and Britney Spears. I mean, it really doesn't take very much. But now it's the Kardashians and P. Diddy. Tomorrow will be some other obscenity. You see, and this works. Yeah, because there's a natural. Like I say, all the people at the top of the ladder know everything we're talking about here, so they know exactly what temperature it is inside your being, and they know how to throw up a particular kind of persona. And the second meaning of that word, it's actually a persona, a person, a people's champion. And they're very sophisticated at being able to do this. And we follow them. They're the Pied Pipers. And then the last thing I'd say, because it's very deep, I've written an article called Stilling the Mind. If you link up to that, it'll really take you through it. But just in conclusion, don't forget that when the worldly Western person is glutted, we talked about them being gluttons for sensational titillation. And then a point comes where they find out to their absolute horror that the world is not, in fact, a perpetual carnival of delight. That's every time the more that you indulge in sensual pleasure, the less and less satisfying it becomes. This is not what when you sign on in the beginning, that the outsider, he works.
Fry your dopamine receptors.
yeah,
And serotonin receptor. Yeah.
yeah,
When you just,
do exciting new things.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't discount the physical. A lot of people discount the physical as evil or bad, such as in Gnosticism. I don't think the physical is a bad thing or a curse myself. I think it's an experience, and it offers us an opportunity to learn and grow. Every system has to have its method of growth.
Yeah. New Guru uses the metaphor of the body is like a cocoon, and it's like a caterpillar.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's needed. It's needed, right? It's needed, and it's even though it's temporary, and it's where the transformation takes place of the butterfly. You still need to strengthen it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even the knowledge of the end of it is, important. It's going to end.
Yeah. That's what Michael Tresarion will talk about, that, like how it separates us from animals. I mean, we don't know for sure, but it seems like it, right? But maybe there's some higher animal, quote unquote, higher animals that can perceive that, but human beings definitely know that.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Maybe everything in their life is trying to.
Many animals cope with death. I don't know that they. I think they have, like elephants, I think, have kind of an understanding of death. Well, their own, but
when they mourn or whatnot.
Yeah, and they visit
dolphins
old
too.
sites. Yeah, they visit old grave sites and play with the bones.
Yeah. Yes.
And they think they're remembering those old ones.
Yeah, sounds like it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the other types we're talking about, they don't get this. So they're walking into a trap that he never gets into, because he didn't fall for this in the beginning. He was a good observer of life, and he knew it doesn't work like that. Or his high is more going to the umwelt, to nature. And there it is unlimited, because that's a mirror of the self, not a mirror of the persona. So this is all has to be pointed out. But the Johnny who is going towards the sensual, episodic, he's an episodic. Well, look, there's absolutely millions of people as we speak in that mess right now. So naturally, one of the reactions to them discovering this, they go through what they call a dark night of the soul. It's not, but to them it is. It's the first hiatus. It's the first pit stop. It's the first moment where things are on a downer. Hey, let's go to the rave. Let's go to the party. No, it's the first moment where they're jaded, bored, and everything.
Yeah, first thing I remember having that when I was living with my girlfriend for many years, ex-girlfriend, and we ended up separating for a bit, and eventually got back together, only to separate for good. But that first separation, we were cohabitating. We were living together, and I got my own apartment. And I remember some nights the silence was deafening in that house, and I was sitting there with the longest night of the soul, you could say.
Yeah.
Of all the things I was trying to push away were coming out. Yeah.
Yeah. It's good though.
Yes, it's good. Yes, and not necessarily when you don't really understand what's going on, but hey, that's part of the process, right?
Yeah.
You need some angst is natural.
Yeah.
Now, a certain coterie of these people finding to their horror that this is the case and that they cannot bring meaning from within, go east. Right? They pick up a book, they watch some garbage documentary with that cartoon whispering like a fucking little snake, right, to you. And they hear this idea that if you get rid of the self, Matty, all anxieties disappear. It's because I'm an I, and I have this thing called self that all the suffering and pain in my life is caused by, and has been since I was a little kid. But if I can get rid of this I, and they know how to do it, they know how to, I learned that.
Yeah, non-duality. I used to really enjoy. Yeah.
I just got my ass over there. It's going to save up and get a ticket. They will remove this pesky problem. I see the light.
Yes.
I get it. What? I'm on my fucking way. Get rid of these clothes. Get a few beads. Put some ashes on my head. Right? Yeah. And head the fuck over there to the Ganges and find some towel head. And he'll teach me the techniques of counseling.
And his family is Indian, half of his family.
Yeah.
And they were spiritual. They had their own spiritual mystery school.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you ever have to go through that, like in the 80s or 90s? Look at some of these quote unquote spiritual commune places, or
Not me
like have a
personally.
community?
No, not
No,
personally.
never.
Well, yeah, actually, yes. I was in the Christian church at the time.
Okay, yeah. Was it more progressive or more traditional, would you say?
Kind of a mix.
Yeah.
Road,
Yeah.
kind of milquetoast Christianity. It's pretty good.
Milk toast. Yeah.
It's pretty
Yeah.
casual.
Mhm. Yeah. I've heard like some of my friends, they say like a lot of the new age sects and stuff sects are kind of like repackaged Christianity in some ways.
Yeah, a lot of it is. And
Yeah.
Christianity is just repackaged from other things.
Right. The new age is really the old age, right? A lot of it.
Yeah.
That's a lot of hodgepodge too. People's interpretation of it.
Yeah, well, most of the
Understand.
same teachings can be found in all ancient writings, just they're written in much different ways.
Yes. Yeah. Right.
I've even heard somebody like Sam Harris talk about the self as an illusion. Now, I've glutted this self like a pig, like a fucking hog all my life. And I only change when I find the trough is empty. Not for a legitimate reason. No. It's because I have plundered the world to find out it's empty. Now a sannyasi. Now I'm a sadhu. Now I'm a renunciate. Now I want a new costume.
Hey, true enough. Even
There's
the
a
Buddha
God, he's
was
weeping.
rich before he. I think it was the Buddha was rich.
Yeah.
He was a prince before
Yeah,
he
Prince
became
Siddhartha.
Buddha. Yeah. So
Yeah.
he had all the worldly pleasures you could want, and then got rid of them. So
Yes, sir. Yeah, he's limiting himself. I think his father too, because his mother died childbirth while having him. His father wanted to spare him from suffering, and he was trying to keep him blind to death and sickness and old age.
yeah,
Was something that he addressed later in his teachings in the Eight Noble Path. Those things, how to deal with them. But yeah, he had it all. He had it all. I heard a plastic surgeon, and he was saying he was interviewing on the street. The guy's like, "What's your keys to success?" And he's like, "Well, I have pretty much anything I want now, all the toys and stuff, but that's not what drives me. It doesn't make me like totally happy. What drives me is just loving to do what I do, and that's most important." He said, "Yeah, the process, right?
yeah.
The process, yeah." And by the way, Max, I put the YouTube channel / videos in case you want to check out some more of this type of stuff later. Yeah.
This is fucking tragedy.
In the
It is absolutely horrendous. This has nothing to do with spirituality. But these Eastern motherfucking sanctimonious charlatans over there,
you like that?
watch you coming, white boy.
That's funny.
He said, "Watch,"
And they're thinking of this. They know, oh my God, it's so sophisticated. They live
Irish
like
Indian, dude.
billionaires, right? They're pedophiles. They're
Damn.
foul. But they know a few words, few little, chants, and the techniques of auto hypnotism. Which, by the way, as I said, these priests since the early days of the post-Vedic, we're talking thousands of years ago, they've had time to refine these techniques of auto hypnotism. They've had plenty of time to open many schools, cults, and sects to test it. India's just filled with shrines and temples where they've been rehearsing this. So along comes your idiot, your chump, the schmuck, right? And they come from every Western culture. Yeah. It's just it's a grist mill. And I was part of it, so I got to see it from the inside.
I used to hang around with tarot cards,
Eat you up.
tarot
Just
readers,
eat you up.
and seers.
And it's
Wouldn't believe the amount of people that seem to have famous souls inside them. Yeah.
No one's a dishwasher. Or
No, nobody's a dishwasher. Peggy from Wisconsin,
yeah. Yes, even in their spiritual high quest, they still have that.
Everybody's got,
ways.
somebody who's kind of, you'd know this person, or, this was a really important person. You're always, somebody important, usually. They caught on to that and told them, different things. But,
yeah, that's the thing about why people love some of the most popular shows or astrology shows, because even people who say they don't like astrology, they want a chance to talk about themselves. They get a chance to talk about themselves, but they like that part.
Yeah.
They like that part.
It's exotic.
And I guess the manipulators use that to their advantage.
Because it's only exotic because, again, it has this promise of egolessness, whatever the fuck that means, right?
Yeah.
There
he goes.
And again,
egoless, like people say ego death. I mean, even if the ego is okay, it's real, all right, but we can say it's not real, right? We can say it's real enough. Even like you need it, you would need something like it. If it's not the ego, something like it, right? You can't be a drooling fool on the street.
Instead of ego death, balance your ego.
You said challenge it.
No, balance it.
Oh, balance it. Okay,
yeah.
Balance it.
Know who you are, but you you don't have to brag about who you are. You don't have to tell people you're anything about yourself, because your presence will carry you.
Yeah, that's other people's job to do.
Yeah.
Talk about you,
Yeah.
good and bad or indifferent. Right? You do your work, your purpose. Hey, Browns boy, good to see you, man. You bad man. Have you heard Tertullian speak on the? No. Well, not that I can remember.
Hmm.
The Book Saga. No. Tell us about it. I'll let this play for a sec.
It's also this very euphoric feeling, because the techniques that they teach you, remember we said that if you narrow your focus, it lowers anxiety. They are the past masters at that. Half the meditation techniques are only doing that. They're just lower anxiety. They're not taking you to any spiritual realms. All they're doing is removing the anxiety of being a self. So they're doing the same thing as Big Pharma does on this side, or some other garbage on this side, that lowers the quotient of neurotic misery. They don't have the technique of doing it, you see? It's just like when a child is crying and you distract it with some sweets or toys, it'll stop crying and immediately get absorbed. It's nothing more than that. They absorb you with a lot of Indian mystical shit. And for a while that works, and it distracts you, and it lowers the hypertension, and it lowers your anxiety, and you feel high. So now you become addicted to it. It's the same with John of God. It's just, over in Mexico or fucking South America, or whatever. Every one of these people does the same thing.
Do you do silent sitting
And
meditation?
we're willing to prostitute ourselves to any one of them. We can't tell the genuine fake from the genuine article.
Yeah, and I think a whole part of their techniques, it's about dissociation in a way. It's about a denial of the self and about the denial of your own feelings, and this disattachment then leads to that sort of feeling of elation, and that sort of comes along with it also. But it's all about the aesthetic life. It's about denial of food, about denial of X, Y, Z, any emotions that come into you. These are just Maya. These are illusions. These are things that attach you to the material world, the real world. And we spoke a little bit about.
No, I don't do silence meditation.
Okay.
I've always had it on the list. But,
yeah. I don't think it's important to do that, really. I do it for small periods of time, but never any extended periods. I don't find it actually like it, and I don't try to make a big deal. I don't really necessarily make a big deal out of it, because I'm just happy to get silence when you have 3 dogs and a 7-year-old and a wife. Yeah.
And then my love of trying to consume media.
I do my best meditation when I'm walking, so I'll go for a walk.
Yeah, walking meditations are great.
Yeah.
Yeah, very zen. Yeah. Silence is great. But I need something I should practice more is taking the headphones out when I'm walking, because I'm trying to cram every bit of time that into learning knowledge.
Yeah,
and that's practical, that can help myself and loved ones and stuff, but one way is to silently walk.
well, you
right?
can put some
That's a way to help.
on in the background, maybe.
Yeah. Which will drown out the actual birds at the park. So. Yeah. Thanks for asking me that question. Wherever people ask me questions up here, I like that. I like to ask questions to find out about people and whatnot. Yeah. You know what's interesting? Let me ask you, Max. Do you think Michael Cicercians is a spiritual person, for what you're getting from?
I don't know what you mean. Like,
I mean, like when I say spiritual, I'm thinking of like a very thoughtful person.
I think he's a practical person who seems to have a good understanding of maybe the spiritual.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's a good way to say it. Yeah, I think he's a spiritual person. definitely.
Yeah.
Just off of what you said, and it's not normally not what people expect from him saying like towel heads and like these people like, and he'll swear and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, he's just because he has a strong opinion about something.
Yeah. I do
it
remote
doesn't
viewing
mean-
class, and I could dress it all up and shit.
Yeah.
Put on
Yeah.
an act.
Yeah.
But for me, that's totally bullshit. I don't want to do that. And
Right.
I approach this kind of like I approach everything. It's to me, it's like a science, but it
Yes.
happens to be a science of spirituality, which includes all of spirituality too, because that part of it led me to remote viewing, which is so yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Because what part of that led you to, in particular, to remote viewing? What was the?
Well, I was sitting in church actually. I was
Uh-huh.
sitting in church, and the preacher was making up a lie. I knew it was a lie.
Uh-huh.
So I said, well, you know what, honey, you want to be, you want to know what Christ is and all that. And I do. So I went on a search for it. And the Christ or Jesus in a spiritual sense is the connector, the one, the messenger. He's the one with the voice. So, and that relates to the pineal and the pineal cycle, and all of that is mirrored throughout the Bible in the stories and other religions and all that. And it's all related to the cycles of the stars. But the main cycle that I focus on with remote viewing is the cycle in us.
Okay. Because we're all made of stars and whatnot.
Well, we follow the same pattern.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. It's kind of a neat thing. At least
Yeah,
it's
it's true. Like, there must have been something going on. There absolutely was something going on with my as above, so below, as above. Because last night I had like at least 4 reconciliations. And speaking to people I haven't spoken to in a long time, or at least the start of a reconciliation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a blood moon the other day, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. It was. Yeah. That's where I had my last episode was titled I don't know if you saw it. Going in on TML stream on this blood moon. So there's a thumbnail. The blood moon in TML. Yeah. Yeah, it caused some people to really go crazy and call me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They went crazy on you?
Yeah. Because I was reviewing TML stream, my homie, my good friend, and they didn't like it because because I was having a good time. They were saying some out of pocket things. Yeah. They were describing something what someone else called them, and I just changed it up and clipped it up, and and kept playing it every now and then. And it was their words, mind you, and I didn't even call this person out their name or anything. Yet I'm the bad guy, and they said I'm not spiritual, basically. Because I'm low. They say I'm low vibration. I don't even talk like that, and all this. And also, my son, like, I should get rid of change my channel because I say it's for my son, and I have lower vibrational things. Nevertheless, they forget about all the higher quote unquote vibrational things I have, like this, So it's very interesting how people's interpretations are. Yeah, fascinating. Yeah.
I can review your life.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That'd be neat. See what kind of impressions I get.
Yeah.
See if I get any bad impressions from Gabriel's life.
Okay. You trying to do that right now or what?
Yeah, right now.
Okay, let's do it.
I'm doing it. I'm doing it.
Oh, right now. Okay.
You spend a lot of time in the kitchen, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
After you interact with all your family, yeah.
Yep, that's like the hub.
That's what I was getting, your kitchen.
Yeah. It's funny you say that because we're like not necessarily remodeling, but we got this nice new kitchen table that I'm about to set up after this stream. What the fuck? That's weird.
I saw a lot of like horizontal lines in your kitchen too.
Mm-hmm.
Is there that?
Yeah, that's probably the ceiling with the panels up there. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Funny, the first thing you see is the kitchen. I do spend a lot of time in that. Yeah. Yeah. My wife spends a lot of time in there. Definitely. Cooking. She like cooks like 3 different meals for us. One for my son, one for myself, and like one for her. Actually 4. And then the dogs eat raw meat and vegetables and goodies and stuff. Yeah, so yeah. It's probably like a lot of times I'm talking to her through the kitchen.
Yeah.
The kitchen window. Yeah. Oh shit. That's good. Good stuff.
Yeah, don't say anything bad about your life too much. Anything.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's got a little bit of shit, but
For sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah, I don't mean well. I find it weird to say like I'm a good guy and all, even though I have a knowing of that, I think more or less. I mean, you do like you say, we all have our shit, right? That we're working through. Some more than others. But like I really do have a goodwill towards my fellow man and women. Like my high school mission statement was men for others. And I take that to heart, I think. Yeah. But that's other people's I'm learning that's other people's job to assess what I do or whatnot. It's not I don't want to get bogged down in that. It's nice to get feedback though. Yeah. What's up, Charles Darwin in the building? He said the blood moon won't be till 2029. At least that's crazy, right? Because Max, didn't it seem like we were on a streak of like every year there's been a couple blood moons?
Yeah, it's been super moons and blood moons all over.
Yes, all over the place. Yeah. And we had like all those planets lined up a couple of days ago.
Yeah, 6 of them, eh?
Yeah, 6 of them. Yeah. Yes. Brown's voice said, "Gabe, I saw Cynthia spazzing out on you, saying she wasn't triggered." Yeah, she did a whole live. I see she's back in her true form of making shit up. And you know what? I found out something about it. Like, I'm cool. It's like Cynthia said, like, we watch you, Gabriel. See you basically mess up. I'm like, well, thank you for watching.
Appreciate
we really appreciate that. Out of the 6 people that are there, thank you, Cynthia, for watching. I mean it. I don't think she wanted to hear that, but I really mean it. Thank you. He says, Brown's voice says, Gabe, I clipped the same part of Cynthia saying that stuff. She was trying to make you feel bad, claiming, yeah. I mean, I'm not afraid to admit I get triggered sometimes.
Yeah.
It's not like
ego, right? We cling to our beliefs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we do. I like the idea of the stoicism from Marcus Aurelius. The meditations. That's actually what the book was called. And like, just not too high, not too low sometimes. Yeah. At a baseline. Doesn't mean I still like to be passionate about things, express emotion at certain times, but yeah. Like Max, you have a calming effect too.
Thank you.
Your personality. Yeah. Yeah. But then you bust out some funny ass shit too. That's just cool. Yeah. Let's go.
Their persona and how people become attached to the persona. And again, this is another way
persona,
of abetting by the dictates of the superego. And this, again, furthers the repression of the self.
So he's added something where you got the ego, the ID, and the superego, right? Now he's added the persona. So that's it's an extra layer.
It's a lot of things, right?
That's a lot of things there.
Yeah, it's all Freudian and Jungian terms. Jung is the one that invented the persona. It's like a lot of things to keep track of that might not even be there, right?
It may not. No.
Yeah. I guess it's a way for humans to categorize things because we can't really put our hands around the mind, right? But we can point at it and I guess these terms. But in the end, Max, you're probably confusing ourselves too.
Yeah.
A little bit. A little bit, yeah.
That's fun,
I'd rather gossip about the mind than a person in the Panelverse. That's a lot better, right? Let's gossip about the mind.
Yeah.
Let's make up shit about. We're making up shit about the mind.
Yeah,
let's backbite the mind.
I like ideas better than talking shit about people.
Yeah, that's true.
I can't remember his name now at the top of my head, but he was one of the
pre-Socratic
philosophers. He had a great little sort of saying that I came across. It was, no man can step into the same river twice, for it's never the same river, and he's never the same man. And I wanted to bring that up because it's okay.
That's true. No man can step in the same river twice.
Is Shadow Buddha still here? I want to ask him, can you have an ego and call yourself a Buddhist? If Buddhism gets rid of the ego, but you're still calling yourself a Buddhist, isn't that ego?
There you go, Shadow. Yeah.
Just a question.
Yeah.
Try and take it in a good way.
Yeah.
Come off.
I don't even know if Shadow would call himself a Buddhist per se. He's definitely a supporter of Buddhism and researcher of it. But I'll call him a Buddhism for the sake of this. A Buddhist. That's a good question.
Okay. Any Buddhist, though, can they,
Oh, any in general, huh?
Yeah, because if the idea is to get rid of the ego, then if you call yourself a Buddhist, that's ego, though. Isn't it?
Well, but he said that Buddha didn't say there is an ego.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But does that mean, though, maybe he something similar that he calls, right? Something different.
Yeah, I'm probably confusing it there.
Yeah. But we get the spirit of your question, though, I think. Could someone, because what does Buddhist mean? A Buddhist, what does it mean? Enlightenment? One who seeks an enlightenment?
I guess.
What's the actual meaning of the word?
I've never actually studied Buddhism, so.
Let's see. Meaning. Buddhist. Someone who follows the teaching of Buddha, okay? With Buddhists acting both as a noun for the practitioner and an adjective for anything related to this tradition. The term originates from the Sanskrit word bodha, meaning to awaken or to be enlightened. Okay. To be is the, so that means that you're in the process of, Max, you're in the process of it.
Oh, I think, sure.
Yeah.
Everybody, I think, hopefully everybody is.
Let's see, what does the Buddhist say about ego? I really like the AI mode function. It's a good jump off pod on Google now.
Yeah, I've used it a few times now. I've kind of avoided AI because I'm just feeding the algorithm, but oh well.
Yeah.
Everybody else is feeding it anyways. It's kind of a fruitless venture.
No, you can look at this. Here's a cope, or you can look at it as actually, Max, you're helping. We need the good guys to do it, to try to balance it out. All the stupid shit people have put in there. What does it say about ego? Oh, in Buddhism, the ego is seen as illusional. Let's see. In Buddhism, the ego is considered an illusionary, constantly changing mental habit of creating, a solid sense of I. Sounds like a trickster.
Yeah, that's what Even was saying there.
Yeah, I, me, and mine. Rather than a permanent entity, it's a defensive. Listen to this. Panelverse. It's a defensive storytelling mechanism that causes suffering, dukkha, by fostering craving and aversion. The goal is to see to its illusion to reach. I mean, all you do is talk shit. All you do, you're bro, sis. You're just a defensive storytelling mechanism that causes suffering by fostering craving and aversion. Motherfucker. I didn't have to add that part. But.
You dirty worm. You dirty fucking worm.
You dirty fucking worm.
That's like the Gnostics. The Gnostics believe that physicality is a construct of an evil demiurge, forcing us to live our lives and have these sensations. I don't know.
It sounds like in the same, is a clan member of that. They're in the same family. Yeah.
little bit.
The demi urge. Ooh, the demi urge. Yeah.
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 No, I think there's
Yeah.
purpose to life. I think it, and the experiences.
Yeah. The existentialists say you are here to make the purpose. You bring purpose. You bring meaning to the world.
Yeah. I don't know. I try to achieve balance. That's what I think is a good idea. I don't know if it's
It is.
purpose, but or any true purpose, but
Yeah. It's that's the work, Max. Finding the purpose and sticking with it. Charles Darwin says, not a fan of AI. Tend to get things wrong. Yeah, it does. However, it's a good jump off point. And if you know that it gets things wrong, you can look at it with a side eye, but still use it.
yeah,
You know, take what you will from it. Yeah.
it's just a tool.
Yeah, kind of like I guess how a police detective would look at a snitch or an informant, right?
Yeah,
They'd be like, "This guy's a known snitch, liar, or whatever." But like, I'm sure there's some gold in there somewhere.
yeah. Well, when I first got onto AI, I started asking questions about ayahuasca, and I jailbroke it, and it told me that ayahuasca was brought to human civilization by aliens from Sirius, the Sirius star system.
I like that. That's so
It's an interesting
so
story,
interesting.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting. Your story. It goes along with a more. It's a more depth, nuance to Alex Jones' theory about what's going on. That, like, people are, this off-world entity. I mean, people. These, for example, these venture capitalist tech people in Silicon Valley, my hometown. They're using ayahuasca and doing these shared experience to channel off-world entities. And the entities are working through these people and their technology to subjugate us for their own purposes, nefarious purposes, right?
Yeah.
But you said you actually doxed them, Max. You just doxed the off-world entities. You said Sirius B. You had to go there, Max. You doxed the off-world. You said Sirius B. Oh, I said it now. Damn it, I'm in trouble. I'm not a doxer. Yeah. Oh shit, we're in trouble now. Yeah,
They're gonna come get us.
they're gonna come get
You
us.
go give it some ayahuasca.
Have you tried it before, or would you want to try it?
I haven't tried
Yeah. I've tried the pharmahuasca allegedly,
Oh yeah.
which is like it's the components of the acacia, which is
Did
which that's a
all of
DMT.
the fucking machine elves or what?
I saw my peripheral vision, like around like the frame that we see in the first person. I saw like liquid goo of like the Terminator,
Oh yeah.
like that liquid metal everywhere.
Yeah.
I saw on my phone. I saw elfin text jumping off my phone. After I puked literally 37 times in 3 hours, I started to see how our brains can maybe pull things out like a crane of information we need when we're focusing on, and put it in our forefront of our consciousness.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what I saw. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah. But the throwing up, the purging was the most memorable thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man, not again.
Well, we do produce DMT on our own. Like you don't.
We do, right?
Yeah.
Hey, what's up, man? No, not an acid trip. You want it to be? We're talking about ayahuasca. Yeah, we do, right? Terrence McKenna would say everyone's holding, right, Max?
Oh yeah. Is that what he's saying?
That's what he said. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's holding. Yeah.
Yeah. You can produce your own DMT. That's why the Bible story is there, right? And all the 7 vices and virtues and all that. That's to increase your amount of fluid or oil or whatever you want to call it.
Oh, you mean to get away? I mean, don't do those things, and you'll increase those things. You're saying the DMT?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's one of the things that's released in the. Remember, I told you that I came to remote viewing because of my search for the Christ. I found the pineal cycle and the cycles of the stars. I was about all that kind of crap, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, if you actually follow those things and get and control, and it's mostly in the mind, right?
Yeah.
So if you control the mind, you control the fluid, basically. You increase the amount of food you get, which includes DMT, melatonin, serotonin. There's also crystals that are produced that help you see with your third eye.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of benefits to it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I seen that the story of Moses, when the part where he saw God, the burning bush. I think is referenced as an acacia bush. This acacia tree is a lot of where a lot of people get their DMT.
Yeah, like the DMT
the bark. Yeah. So Moses commune with God doing that.
Yeah, apparently the ancient Israelite or Hebrew temples, they found traces of marijuana and cow dung on the altar. So they'd be burning pot plants and dung to make it. You mix it together, so it makes like an incense kind of, and it burns longer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe that dung is it animal dung?
Yeah.
Maybe that was there too. That the fertilizer from the mushrooms they were growing too.
Well, maybe yeah. Feed your cows some mushrooms.
Yeah.
Use the dung to make some incense.
Yeah, with all that incense, well, there's a lot of smoke, so that's the ultimate hot box. Those priests probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, these are big ass burners.
Yeah. What's up? What's the matter? You? He says, well, humans clearly don't evolve on this planet. If you believe that, which I actually am recalling now, that at the end you said you got it wrong, so maybe you got it right after all. Okay. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out what's really going on.
I don't believe in evolution. I believe in the Greek myths as a history.
Can you give us a quick synopsis?
Oh, it's kind of messed up, but it's what I believe. So first from the earth sprang the Cyclops and the 100-handed and 50-headed. And then after that, the Titans came up. And then after the Titans sprang from the earth, the gods sprang from the earth. And after a while, man sprang up in different creatures. But I don't believe in evolution. We basically sprang from the earth.
Yeah.
From eggs.
Popped out.
Yeah, from eggs or genetic material.
Yeah.
But I think it came from somewhere else because of the story of Tiamat and Marduk that predates the Bible, but it tells of a great battle. And it basically says that at the end of the battle, the body of the slain was used to make the earth.
Yeah.
And in the book of Thomas, it says that
what's up?
The earth is a corpse. He who knows the earth knows a corpse. It's a dead thing. So
the dead thing, huh?
Yeah.
Gaia is a dead thing.
Yeah. Well, it's still got a kind of a magnetic field and probably a spirit or something.
Kind of like hey Max, kind of like a tooth after a root canal.
Yeah. Yeah.
The material's still there.
Yep.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh man. I've seen how this cool animation channel, alternative history channel, they used the Anunnaki and they overlaid it with the Marduk story. Tiamat and Marduk.
That sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. They sprung into existence. They came from somewhere else, right?
Well, yeah, they were just like kind of plunked here. You know, everything was just kind of. It was in the stories they say that the Earth was a amorphous toothy mass. So it had
like a lot of rocks and stuff.
Well, it had teeth for some reason.
Gross.
So yeah.
No offense to the Earth. I love you, Earth, but
yeah.
The growth of teeth, like both all these teeth and stuff. Wow.
I guess flesh and teeth. Yeah, so flesh, teeth, and bones.
Titan. Yeah. Now, in your mythology, your origin story, you said what sprang up first? The Cyclops.
It's the Greek mythology. Yeah, Well, there's some contention. Some of them say the 100-handed and 50-headed came first, but others believe it was the.
This is the creature with the 50 heads.
Yeah, and 100 hands. I
Oh,
can't imagine what that looked like.
he didn't say 100 arms. He said 100. Is there arms attached to those hands? I wonder. Is it
I don't
just,
know. Maybe not.
Yeah.
Maybe
Now I'm
not.
thinking about the angels in the Bible,
Yeah.
like the ones that guard the chariot and stuff. Weird looking stuff like that. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Go back to this.
Okay.
This is wild, man. What Michael? What are you saying now?
I told her you were doing
Are you still talking? Let me see. Who are you? No, that's not it. Oh. Number 5. That's it. There you go.
Thinking. And we spoke a little bit more about the different layers of the psyche and how to get in touch with the self and through the shadow work. And one of the things we come into contact with are the archetypes. And the archetypes, whenever you come into contact with them, evoke different kinds of feelings. We spoke with the word numinous before that has came up multiple times as well also. And we spoke a little bit about the tarot and how we can use the tarot maybe to help to communicate with these archetypes or evoke different kinds of feelings as well so that we can learn from them.
You do. Yeah, I know you do shadow work, right?
The actual Western
Or
way.
you have done.
Shadow,
I don't
yes.
I don't like the term because it sounds too spiritual. I like it dealing with the shit in your head. You know?
Yeah.
It's basically what
Yeah. I call it the most influential one I had was journaling.
Yeah.
And reflecting off of it. And like writing down everything like a detective. And like everything that happened during the day. Every detail, not necessarily analyzing it, but writing when it happened. And after a while I saw the patterns in my life. I started to use pattern recognition to see what was serving me and what wasn't.
Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of it was like some nasty stuff for sure. Shadow, I guess you would say. Normally that things that I leave on the director's cut, the floor of the editing room, right? But it was all there. And this is also this is what my channel is too. This channel, I do say it's for my son Benjamin when he gets older, if he chooses to watch it. Not now, he's 7. He wouldn't want to watch it anyway. But and I'm not ashamed of the times I've been used blue humor or gotten dark on people because that's part of me, you know. I'm learning. You know, and that was some of the critiques that Cynthia was trying to give me. It's like, I need to get rid of my channel, those videos and stuff. It's like, no, I'm not ashamed of that. I mean, and obviously you don't know the relationship my son has. Like, he's one of the most sweetest boys, but he ain't no pushover. He's not like a little punk. He doesn't sit down when he pees or anything. I don't know what they're used to, but but the point is everything has a purpose. And the shadow work really reminds you that, in a safe way, in a not safe way necessarily, but in a useful way. I think it's like the manure that grows the flowers, right?
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you do shadow work? You don't like to say shadow, but do you do?
Yeah. Yeah. You know,
The
people.
dark
I
arts.
think people used to just call them demons. You know.
Yeah, the demons. Yeah, for sure.
Everybody's got their little demons, right? So,
Mhm.
everybody fights their little demons every once in a while. You know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess I've done shadow work and probably will do for the rest of my life. I guess.
Yeah.
You know, you always have
always
little demons that come up. You know.
Yes, they pop out. Demons. You gotta so we can recalibrate. Right.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Give yourself
Shit
a little
happens.
slap upside the face. Say, hey, what the fuck you doing? You know?
Yeah.
Of dealing with this conundrum is of how to know the self compared to these sort of illusionary techniques of the East.
Yeah, well, you see, that's right. And by the way, it was Heraclitus that came up with that.
That's it.
Fantastic.
I've been racking my head.
Machine
for 20
talks
minutes.
about him a lot.
Yeah, he was
Glad the team
important.
out.
Very, very important, along with Parmenides and Anaximander. But they Western techniques, again, are very varied. And often they can go wrong too. Remember, it was from the West that we got this Gnosticism.
Ah, there you go, Max.
Yes.
Yeah.
There you go. You guys are on the same page.
So it's not that the West is.
I think he's going to go in. Yeah, I thought it was very attractive and once again an interesting story. But once they started to say that, like, They don't want to have children, which is fine. It's your choice. But they said something like they give abortions. Some of the sects of narcissism. It's like I was like, okay.
I haven't heard that one. Yeah, but I could imagine. Yeah, because of their disdain for basically life.
Yeah. That's gnosis, huh?
I don't understand it. These people just stay in life, but then they continue on. Like, if you came to that realization, why are you still here?
Yes. I hate Canada. I hate America. Yeah, I'm still here. Now I can literally say I don't like America because I don't live there. However, I actually like it even more. I understand it even more. How it's not perfect. However,
I love Canada.
I'm happy I'm from here.
I do not like my government.
There you go. Yeah, you're able to separate it.
Yeah.
Zoom out, right?
Oh, like, man. I go for a walk in Canada. Oh man, it's so beautiful. But
I bet.
I got a shitty ass government right now.
Yeah. And the more you could separate from it, the better.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of garbage. I mean, didn't we say that materialism, for instance, right, came out of the West? Yeah. So one then has to study the mystical way, and this would then take on, you'd be more interested then in your German mystics. And
okay, German. Hey, Shadow Buddha. Maybe Shadow Buddha stepped away. Max, can you ask your questions again? However, hit the like button. Shadow. I'm trying not to say that as much. But go ahead. Max, do you mind resetting the question to Shadow Buddha?
What's that?
Do you remember about the ego? You said Buddhist and ego.
Oh, I don't remember.
He's in the chat. We said, how can a Buddhist be?
Yeah. Oh yeah, if a Buddhist is trying to destroy the ego, but at the end of it you call yourself a Buddhist, isn't calling yourself a Buddhist part of the ego?
Right.
Yeah.
He wasn't necessarily saying you particular Shadow Buddha, but a Buddhist in general, right, Max?
Yeah.
Or maybe we are. Or I'll say it. I'm talking about you, Shadow Buddha.
Yeah, you, man. Just you. Just you.
Yeah, so I'm sure he's definitely, I'm not saying that's because he's my brother, but like best chatter, most thoughtful chatter, pushes people in a good way.
He's a very smart man.
Yeah.
Italian mystics,
absolutely.
Pico della Mirandola, Marsilio Ficino. I've mentioned them. There's a site I have called shellingzone.com.
You're number one.
Believe you me. I've got a page there.
Is it quote, I'm number one, Charles Dickens? Yeah. Is that Shadow Buddha quote you're doing? No, you're great too. You're great too, Charles. So yeah, we love you too.
Page where I list all these German mystics. Mentioned them. There's a site I have called shellingzone.com. And believe you me, I've got a page there, a library page, where I list all these German mystics leading up to the German idealists. And that's it. And I've written a book on it called Shelling, Understanding German Idealism. It's a
shady book, Buddha.
I haven't watched much of him.
And we've done a numerous amount of...
I don't think I've ever seen him before. This guy you're watching.
Oh, Michael Tessera, yeah.
Yeah. I agree with his demystifying of spirituality, if that's what he's doing.
Yeah. I think that's why it was refreshing, Max, because like I'm from San Francisco Bay Area, and I went to college at they call it integral studies for the bachelor program, but it's basically liberal studies, and there's a lot of, it's San Francisco, Age of Aquarius, a lot of hippies, and and like New Agers, and which is cool, but however, it's like you said, they put this fluff around it that it's not. I like pragmatic stuff, man. Like meaning like practical things, and I like when I saw Michael's work like years ago, I was like attracted to it because he's talking about a lot what those people are saying, but he's saying it from a masculine concrete point of view.
Yeah, just factual way.
Yeah.
That's why I don't even like the word shadow work, ego death. I don't like these terms there.
I don't like that either. Ego death. Yeah.
No.
Yeah. But I understand that some people talk and stuff, but I come from a psychedelic community, even though I never really took psychedelics that much, but a lot of my friends have, and I believe that you can have a psychedelic way of thinking, even if you do them or not. I mean, like kind of like open-minded per se. And a lot of those guys would use that term ego death. And I'm like, even my friends that do the most, they don't even talk like that though. It's the guys that dabble, but like to talk a big game, that say that. And I'm not saying in the chat, whoever said that. No. I'm not referring to. I'm talking about some people I've known for years and stuff. But yeah, ego death, shadow work. What else is another one, Max? You got another one?
Divine feminine, divine masculine kind of bugged me.
Yeah. Your frequency.
I have to increase my divine feminine. It's like, but I'm masculine. I have an artistic side and a mathematical side, and they're both masculine.
Yeah.
So
I was gonna say, did they have Victoria's Secrets at the mall over there in Canada? You could go get some lingerie. Max, with your divine feminine. Here we go. Oh, steak. Sounds good.
Okay.
So Shadow Buddha says it wouldn't because Buddhism is like a verb. Yes, it's like a verb. Calling yourself a Buddhist is that's what we read, right? We read that process, right? The process to enlightenment is a process of the 5 aggregates that isn't static or fixed way Freud describes the ego. Was that said though? I don't know. Like I used to like flex and be like, I don't say about the ego, it's about the no self. But I'm really liking the Freud. I'm not saying it's the end all be all, but I've been studying it the last couple of weeks, and I actually value his take on things. You know, I'm not saying it's like I said. There's some things I don't agree with, but like, yeah.
Yeah, I think the binary breakdown of the human psyche is pretty good. You know, it does work very
useful.
Well.
Yeah. And then Charles Darwin said, "Victoria's Secret." I think I know what that. Yeah, it's a lingerie store. Supposedly, it was for. I heard a weird story where, and it started in the Bay Area, like where a man wanted to cross dress, and he would say like, "I'm getting it for my wife," you know, like type shit, like dude.
Occasionally, yeah.
And then another one, my friend, my mentor, brother Ali, he said the Victoria's Secret back in the monarch Middle Ages or whatever was that she was actually a dude, Queen Victoria. That was the Victoria's Secret.
Podcast on Enslaved about it too. And so there's the legitimate Western philosophical tradition. Now,
wait a minute. What's the matter with you? What the hell? You relate to wanting to sleep with your mother and unaliving your father in NBC? You bastard. Shit. I'll show you something real quick. Speaking of that, this is old me, Charles Darwin. I mean, what's the matter? I can't believe he said that. That was out of pocket. But those are theories of Freud, right? More or less. What do you say? Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. I'll show you old me talking about that. Actually, I did an episode about Freud on my test stream show back in the day, my surrealist vlog. Here. You'll like this one.
Okay.
Let me see. And where is it? Oh, here it is. This is for you guys. Yeah.
Of all the great figures,
good song, right?
Perhaps Sigmund Freud is the most important.
That's my old housemate.
Medication his whole fucking life, and you're not talking like, amoxicillin or something like that, dude.
He was on coke, right, Max?
you're talking like heavy opiates that seriously alter your brain chemistry for your entire life, and the guy's taken seriously as like a scientific prophet.
I like him.
Speak Freud. Every time we
And you look at Jung, and I think the difference with that, especially now, like the things that I'm doing that I'm just starting to do with like the guided imagery and stuff like that. That's exactly what Jung, I think, was directing things towards. It was more that it's not that every single one of your damn dreams is gonna matter. You know what I mean? But your dreams,
It's very low.
have the truth in it.
Oh, you can't hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it a bit. You have to turn it up.
Okay. Yeah, so
Guide. Agree with Freud.
here, this part. Here's from Freud stuff.
Like, wow, he really knows what he's talking about.
There you go.
He really knows it. Okay.
Everyone wants to do their mom.
Diane and Steve are mother and son, but for the last 10 years they've lived as man and wife. Diane was just 14 when she gave birth to Steve, and was immediately forced to give him up for adoption. After 27 years of living apart, Steve traced his mother, and they arranged a reunion.
Yeah.
Do you hear that?
Yep.
She's about to. They link up now. This mother and son.
Oh.
Yeah, that's what that was. Yeah. Well, that's Truth or Cop. Good to see you, man. Yeah. And then I think I said something out of pocket or something right here. Wait, let me get to that point. This is what I wanted to show you. This is for you. What's the matter, you?
Devil, you sure toss a mean salad.
To be honest, I'm always honest, especially now.
Anyone here have an edible
I had a
compact?
dream. I think I
Right here, this guy.
I know.
Yeah.
Probably with my mom. Being
Oh, okay.
intimate. And
Being intimate with my mom. Oh God.
I don't know. I guess maybe I have thought about that before. And where does that come from?
Yeah, right.
Look at this, Max. Look at this kid. About to be surprised by his mom.
Oh no.
Look at him.
Oh no.
You got it. Lock the door.
Oh no.
Excuse me, Ricky. Ricky, I did see what you were doing.
Oh no.
Good, didn't
No, just walk away.
It's all right. We all have feelings like this sometimes. I'm just glad you're doing this in the privacy of your own room.
Truth or Cop, what do you
When
think
we're
about
older,
that?
We'll have to talk more about these feelings and what causes them and how we
What
can
thoughtful
control
mother.
these feelings. I'm sorry I intruded on your privacy. I'll be sure to knock next time.
Yeah.
That would not be the typical response.
She's like total textbook. Ricky, I'm sorry for intruding on your privacy. She said it felt good, didn't it?
Typical responses may differ.
Look at Charles Darwin's ass. Bloody hell! Get the fuck out! Holy shit! Look at the boys in the chat. Yeah, now that kid's on Skid Row. That's Adam 22.
Yeah, that,
Shadow
that damaged him worse than his mom just walking away or yelling at him. You know,
Ricky. Oh shit! Yeah. Don't get it twisted. Shadow Buddha said the Buddha preached the middle way between eternalism, permanent soul, and nihilism. A modern form would be an atheism. Buddha believed in rebirth, not reincarnation versus karma. Okay. Do you see a difference in that? Do you see the distinction between rebirth and reincarnation versus karma?
I don't know what the difference would be.
Mm-hmm. Rebirth, reincarnation. I think one of them would be what we talked about in the beginning about the soul
growth,
having a memory.
Yeah, or
right?
Growth of the soul. Maybe
Mm-hmm.
Does Buddhism believe in growth of the soul, or just that the soul is, or is that the contention that they're having?
I think the contention is one of them will have the soul will be embedded with the memory more or less, or the feelings of the memory. You know what I mean? We talked about the feelings are entangled on it. Okay. Look at your previous comment. Well, your previous comment was welcome, Truther Cop. Yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah, I think I did. Yeah, we just read it. I think we just but Builder believed in rebirth. So he believed in rebirth, not reincarnation. Versus karma. Okay, via karma. Karma is cause and effect to me. That's how I see it. It's like if I were to do a hit piece stream, it's gonna cause a lot more karma that I already have, right? Rather than me just tread lightly and not do anything. Yeah. The one before that,
no self. He describes a simpler way of saying there isn't an external soul that keeps existing after death.
Okay.
Your entire identity as Gabe via the soul doesn't move on to the next level.
No. Well, I think I'm okay with that. I say that now, but I would have no choice anyway. There would be no I. There was never an I.
I don't think my entire being moves on. You know.
Part of it?
Not my entire identity. That's why I think it's more of an impression of our emotions or our emotional response, which to me is kind of like the path to enlightenment. How we respond to things, I think, is the way to enlightenment.
Right.
Control of the mind.
Control of the mind, and also too. So I agree with you. What's the matter? You said these streams are hit pieces. I'm out. Okay, I'll give you something. There you go.
Hey, I don't know, but according to Grace, Lalo has a tight rectum. Yeah.
Shout out to Hurricane Peril legend. New crew. Oh man, you had to see that. Damn it! I tried to be good. We figured out who we are. Have you figured out who we are yet? No. Well, yeah. I mean, we're closer. We're pointing towards it. I'm nothing. I'm a somebody. I'm a nobody who thinks he's a somebody. I'm just saying all the right things. Who are we? Yeah, Max. Who are you?
All I know is that I am.
I am what I am.
Yeah. I happen to be here experiencing this at the moment.
Yes. Experiencing this. What's the matter? He says, "Oh no, the big D soldier, big dope soldier, big dope over here." Yeah. Shadow Buddha said, "Yeah, I've seen him on Speakeasy a long time ago. He seems like a cool guy." Who? Shiva.
You know, it's pretty good. Pretty good experience at the moment. I'm having a drink. I'm pretty high. So yeah.
Yeah. Sounds good, man.
Yeah.
Perfect. Oh, then let's get you. I think you should say the 60s or 70s and go. Let's. Well, they say let's. I was gonna say blow them out. That sounds pause, but I was gonna say freak him out. A freak out, right? They want to see how much they can fuck with you, not in a bad way, but like show you some trippy shit, right? When you're already high. Let's see. Let's get there.
I'll come later. American people.
I see.
True. So you do have problems there as well. But this
new guru,
as I said, man. Tradition became popular in England with Coleridge, the poet. We said brought it over, and for a while, for a very very short time, it was of interest. And Owen Barfield was in that tradition. Wordsworth,
Owen Barfield,
others. Rudolf Steiner would have been into it as well.
Who like Steiner?
Then it reached America with your transcendentalists.
Steiner said something great about like how he's talking about Dreamtime and the Aboriginal culture in Australia, and how like when they woke up, it was like every day was the first day of creation. That's how they looked at it. Kind of interesting. I thought that was kind of beautiful in a way. Kind of cool. Yeah.
I've heard of Dreamtime as a cycle too, like a million like a millions of years cycle with the Dreamtime.
Yeah.
We all exist in spirit for millions of years, and then we come back to the physical.
Meet up here.
Well, no, we know that just everything becomes physical again.
Ah, I see.
Yeah, everything stops being physical in the dream time, and then it becomes physical again after the dream time ends.
I see. A meta eon thing. What's going on every day night when we go to sleep? Is an example, a mini version.
Yeah,
of that.
different cycle.
Wake up. Like right now, the dreaming Max and Gabriel are asleep. At least for me, yeah, we're both awake, so yeah, that's cool. Chada Buddha said, or wasn't you said that the Cartesian philosophy. Yeah, when I hear of Cartesian, I think of like the model of reality, how I make reality, like with the grid lines and everything, like the architect's drawing. I think, therefore, I am is an outdated gibberish. Read Wittgenstein philosophy, investigation. You understand better. Yeah, Wittgenstein's dope. Wittgenstein, he's all about language, right? Language, and whatnot. When New Guru says, when the undefinable seeks to define itself, like who am I? The undefinable is projecting a fantasy, seeking instead of observing. There is no who, just what. Okay. There's no who, that's what. When you're projecting a fantasy, when you're looking for it too much, trying too hard, seeking instead of observing. Yeah. Abbo's the government killed him. Yeah.
I could agree with that. For sure.
Yeah. There you go. Charles Darwin says that the Aboriginals don't have a culture. The government killed them. Damn. I haven't done a lot of research on Freud, but maybe the ego has become common in Western vernacular. Yes, it has. As an excuse of entitlement or behavior to become selfish and seeking desire at all costs. Whoo, that's a good one. Yeah, right? Like, yeah. It's just the ego. No, you're just being a dickhead.
I don't know. There could be also the difference of culture, right? Like
difference of what?
The difference of culture. Like,
yeah,
if you're brought up in an impoverished nation, your philosophy is going to reflect that, right? So if you can't have a lot in your country, the idea of getting rid of all material is ideal.
That big whoop.
That's
right.
Zen for you, right? It's kind of like a coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Whereas in Western philosophy, we have abundance. So, we view it completely differently.
Yeah. It's sort of like how when I did that, when I was with my mentor at the time, Ayla Skafis, and we had that group where I said we journaled, did the shadow, what one would call shadow work. And we would, write about and find the patterns in life. And the whole point was it was for pattern recognition and identity deconstruction. But I was like, in order to have an identity deconstruction, you have to know your identity. And I'm like, I don't have or you want to deconstruct your personality. I don't even have a well-defined personality yet, I felt like. So it's like, wow. But maybe I was wrong, but like.
Too middle of the road, are you?
I was. That's why I'm trying. I'm making a conscious effort, or at least observing myself, saying stuff. For example, like however, like making a strong statement. Then I would say however, which works in my regular life. However, but as an internet personality, so you gotta be provocative sometimes, not in a fake way, but just stand on something a little bit more. What's going on, Nude Guru?
Hey, what's happening? Evening, guys.
Oh man, we're trying to figure it all out. That's what you're here for, to help us out with that, or tell us like, there's no need to do that. Just observe.
Yeah, well, I think Max said it simply as you could put it. I am, or I exist. It's about as simple as it gets, right? But when we ask a question like, "Who am I?" or something along those lines, there's probably something a little deeper underneath that. What's driving that? What are we really trying to ask? Because if we even answered it, what would it serve?
Right. Although the other big question I have besides that is like, what's my purpose?
Yeah.
So is that along the maybe that's the metaphysics behind that?
Yeah, things usually come from that line of thinking. What am I doing here? Or
Yeah, what am I doing here? Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
what's the point of this, right?
Yeah.
That's and you're going to discover that more through just straight observation. If you move presumptions and egoic noise out of the equation, you'll start to see. Probably not right away, but you can observe. There's
You'll have a lot
answers
less
to
arguments,
observation.
that's for sure.
Yes. What was that, Max?
I said you'll have a lot less arguments.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Control of the
Right?
ego, right?
Yeah.
All nonsensical arguments, right? Because
Nonsense.
what's any of that going to lead to,
Yeah.
other than distraction?
Yeah. More, Buddhists would say, maybe more karma, more baggage to hold and carry. What's the matter? You said you pronounced it Wittgenstein. Maybe the first account. Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I've read some stuff on him. That's probably why. Not Wittgenstein. Yeah. Language. This is what the beginning of the broadcast was. The subtitle was Owen Barfield, and we shared about his concept of language and how it's centered around the evolution of his work centered around the evolution of consciousness. I call it awareness, right? And a concept that he radically changes the standards, materialist view of history and reality. And he talked about how language, what is it? This isn't the one. Well, he talked about how language was one of the first ways human beings interact with the world. And now that has a lot of how we have to do with how we perceive reality. I'm paraphrasing, but yeah, language has always fascinated me in my later years. You know,
Consciousness is absolutely not static, for sure. We observe this and experience it every single day when we go for a rest. It's fluid.
Yeah.
And it's not fluid, guaranteed either from the parting of this breath from the vessel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a mystery.
Yes, that might be it, right? That might be it. It's it as we know it, because maybe that we or the I, it's not. Yeah,
as far as the consciousness goes, it could be it.
Well, apparently the Chinese are trying to trap the soul to use it as a power source.
Yeah. They're playing around with it, huh?
I'll neglect to confirm or deny whether I.
No, I can't confirm or deny that either. But.
Yeah. Now, what's the matter? You says language is a vehicle of thought, and since nudification is here, vehicle. I'm thinking cocoon. I want to relate it to the cocoon metaphor. Keep on going deeper with that. Like. Language is a vehicle. How can we relate that to the cocoon metaphor of the vessel, the body, and that?
Relating language to the cocoon.
Well, like because he's new guru is saying. Excuse me. What's the matter? You saying that language is the vehicle of thought, right? And when I thought of vehicle, I instantly thought about the metaphor we used about the cocoon, of the vessel as a vehicle. So, I guess I'm always trying to resonate things together.
Yeah. So yeah, language, like even nonverbal language, would be how you communicate.
Yeah. Expression.
Yeah.
Expression. Yeah, through the vessel, for sure.
Shadow Buddhist says Westerner equals you live and die. Easterner, you're living and dying at the same time as you live. You are also aging, which leads to death.
I see death as a complete misnomer.
Yeah.
Back to the cocoon thing. You see, the cocoon thing is actually an interesting perspective that I gained with exactly what I'm talking about through observation. A lot of observation after a long time. It just sort of was an epiphany. It came to me. And you were, by the way, I'm totally with you on the karma thing. That's how I see it too. It's just cause and effect. There's no divine punishment or somebody sitting there with a stick saying, I'm going to give you a consequence if you do this or whatever. But you were saying earlier on the stream, before I depart for a while there, stages that we go through. And is it really the who we are that goes through this, or is it those stages the cocoon? And that's part of the continuum of a birthing process. If you look at being in the womb, that's kind of similar to being in a cocoon, right?
Right. Okay.
Now, once you're birthed out, here's where it gets interesting. I submit for a proposal that the birthing process hasn't finished yet.
Okay.
That may be just the beginning. And maybe after the breath, which has come in, that's the first one, it enters into the vessel, right? And then the last one, it goes out. Perhaps that too is another birth beginning.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Never fully maturing. Even when you're quote
divine
elderly.
Eternal transformation, which would lead more towards understanding the what we are.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's see if we can overlay the birthing process. What you're saying with these 3 stages that Barwell said. Like he said, the evolution of consciousness described the history of a human experience as movement through the 3 distinct stages of participation. Number 1, or original participation. And it sounds like animism to me right here. In ancient times, humans did not perceive a sharp divide between themselves and nature. Meaning was seen as inherent in the world, and language reflected a primordial unity where words simultaneously describe physical and spiritual realities. The prenum meaning both breath and spirit. Any thoughts?
Oh, that was fast. Can you repeat that?
The last part?
The
whole thing. In ancient. So the first stage for Barwell is the original of human consciousness evolution is original participation. In ancient times, humans did not perceive a sharp divide between themselves and nature. Right? Meaning was seen as inherent in the world, and language reflected a primordial unity where words simultaneously described physical and spiritual realities. For example, the plenum meaning both breath and spirit. Yeah. Sounds like poetry. And this guy, Michael Tessarion, he was saying that he likes this guy Barwell, and it was his study in poetry and metaphor that led him to this philosopher.
Right.
Because he's the breath and the spirit. Yeah.
I reckon he's assuming and guessing about past times. He could be correct, though.
Right.
And I would say that that's happening now, too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess it depends on what you mean, though, specifically. It'd be interesting to ask him by spiritual and what it is that is being projected through language.
Yeah. I would use the for me, like mundane reality, like that'd be like the breath, right? Even though it's very, and then the other one, spirit, is more like a magic, like dynamic, mystical thing, and he overlays them both when talking about both. Like I was giving the example for me, the way I saw it is when I'm sitting in the park and I see the tree waving in the wind blowing through it, and I can see it as that's the wind, the spirit that that's the wind doing it, right? Or I could see it as that's the plant breathing, or the other trees breathing on the leaves at the same time too.
As an interesting exercise, try and see yourself sitting and observing existence and nature internally, externally, etc. Without all of the language and definitions that you've accumulated through your life, and just looking at it as is. There is no label tree. There's just this object, and there's this feeling of what we call wind, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And while these definitions certainly serve a purpose, they can also be very distractionary to the energy, and that's a label too. But what it is that I'm referring at underneath all of that we can witness once we remove all of that, it's the mind that actually, through these labels and when we get caught up in it, gets very distracted from the actual reality that's present for us to observe and be a part of.
Yeah, we're getting in the way of ourselves and trying to describe it. Like Max and I were talking about how there's a lot of snails where we lived or where we have lived before sometimes during the rainy season. And I was saying that like there's times when I tried to help the snail across, and in fact, by picking up that one snail, I stepped on two other ones.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh man, there's so much of that, and then pot and kettle syndrome, just rampant.
Pot and kettle.
Tons of fake virtue.
Can you bring that, unpack that? Because I heard you use that term before, and it sounded cool. Pot and kettle.
Pot and kettle syndrome, right? The old saying where the pot's calling the kettle black.
Oh, okay.
Which one is pot? Which one is kettle? A lot of humans are sit there and tout virtuosity in such a fake manner and complain about things that are heinous that they're completely participating in and doing themselves, such as genocide and stuff like that, while they're participating in the mass massacre of animals and insects, squishing other bugs. Right.
I got one like
As
Cynthia did.
How can you help being a hypocrite though?
Right. I got one right here. Like Cynthia did a live stream about me, from negative one, trying to talk shit, right? And then I so want to play this one. Part of me is like it says Brown's voice, Cynthia's true religion. I'm sure it's like fucking making her look stupid or something. Well, it's a joke, but it's like, no, I'm just as bad in a sense. But thank you, Brown's boy, for that. I probably right. You know what I mean? If I'm trying to if I'm be like, oh man, how dare that person talk about me in that way, and then I'm engaging in behavior of making fun of them too, right?
Mm-hmm.
I see that as pot and kettle syndrome. Pot, lightweight, but
yeah, a little bit.
All right, it's a little bit, let's see. And then the next one, it says the age of idolatry, onlooker consciousnness. The modern era is defined by a separation where humans view nature as an objective machine. Barfield called this idolatry because we treat our collective representations of the world as if they have an independent mind, free existence. Oh.
Yeah, it's. I would just sum that up with the word arrogance.
Yeah.
Which is a disease and rampant amongst the human species as we speak. Maybe the root of all evil.
The arrogance, yeah.
Just something to exploit.
Yeah, and to unrecognize that you're exploiting your own tail. Have no clue about that while you're in pain over it. That's about as arrogant as it gets.
Facts. The final stage in the evolution of human consciousness, according to Barfield, is final participation. Barfield's mission was to lead humanity towards a future where we regain a participatory relationship with reality. However, this time with the full self-aware freedom gained from our period of separation. This is achieved through the creative imagination, which he viewed as a legitimate way of knowing that can save the appearances of the world.
I think I saw you put that up earlier, and I was thinking to myself, see, this is rather arrogant thinking too, because first of all, consciousness is not a season, and it's not a species specific thing. That's an individual thing. So this idea that you're gonna, that's kind of a Jack Halcon ideology, right? You're gonna lead this species to this or that, you know. This can be done on an individual basis if the individual wants it and chooses it only. That's all. And it's available to everybody as long as you have breath, which is beautiful. Doesn't get any more perfect than that.
Right. And even I thought you were going to comment for sure on the part where it says his mission was to lead humanity towards a future where we regain the participatory relationship with reality. Maybe you addressed this in the sense that, like, who's to say everyone wants to do that, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's a very unique individual choice. And a lot of people get caught up in that ideology to their own demise, missing the boat that by doing that very thing, you just became the ultimate hypocrite and are choosing the opposite to what you're projecting. Over a nothing, right?
Yeah.
Or an idea.
Yeah. What about the part where he talks about creative? Okay, wait. They would do this. They gain this insight through the period of separation from it.
Regain a participatory relationship with reality.
Yeah.
Well,
then
again,
all about this.
That's an individual's responsibility and choice, if you will, or option.
Period of separation.
Right. So when I do that, doesn't mean you have to or are going to or will want to.
Right. Yeah. And then we have this where it says that this is achieved through the creative imagination. And I've got that. As soon as I see her there, I think of my friend Justin, who loves Neville Goddard. The imagination is everything, you know. The imagination sets it's God and the Bible and Jesus and all the main player. Imagination, how does that something that's important to you guys?
It serves a purpose, but as a tool. But you got to be very meticulously responsible and discerning with it, because it'll take you on tangents. And again, that's the tool that will either distract or give you benefit. Like if you need to figure out how to solve a problem. Right?
Yeah, it can be a powerful interpretive tool, but it can also, like you say, totally distract you from reality.
Yeah.
In Srila Buddha says, in Hinduism, though, the religion supports the concept of collective or universal consciousness, primarily defined as Paramatma, Supreme Soul of Brahma.
Yeah.
The Godhead. Yeah.
There's a lot of people who...
everything returns to nothing, pretty much.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who damn themselves to suffering daily for a long time simply by what they choose to focus from their a misuse of their imagination.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we were talking about that before with shadow work and all that kind of.
Yeah. I got you Truth or Cop right there real quick. Let me put that back up. Hold on. 1 second. What do you think about this?
How you doing, Max?
Doing good.
Good stuff.
Having fun in this simulation, some people call it.
Might as well, right?
Yeah.
Having fun. What are we then?
It is kind of like a simulation, you know.
I think so.
Big RPG, you know.
Yeah.
The world's a stage. I like it. You know. I like Manly P. Hall's version on that. You know, it is like a stage, and we all go back to the green room and say, "Hey, let's have a go again." You know. How was your play? You know?
There we go.
What was your question?
How did the play go for you so far?
Oh, right. That's
No.
the ultimate. Sit there and tell each other about how the ride was.
Yeah.
The word I like that. Think of that. Did you get that, Truth or Cop? Thanks. Okay, cool, bro. I appreciate you, man. That'd been fun on your stream. I think that'll be a lot of fun. Yeah. Bill Hicks. The world is a ride, you know. And we think it's a ride, basically until we get tired of it. He's on that ride. There's twists and turns and all that, and he goes. Then there's men and women that they take the ride very seriously. Like, how dare you think this and that, right? Type of shit.
Yeah.
Their furrowed brows. Right? And what do they do to people that remind us that the world is a ride? They kill those people. Damn, it's hard. Yeah.
I don't have any recollection of before this birth. Just complete state of amnesia.
Yeah.
I don't know anybody else that has attested to me any otherwise either. Not that there isn't. I've heard of people who have some recollection or whatnot, but perhaps this idea that when you're reincarnated, I hear this a lot. People think that you reincarnate and it's like a school, and then eventually you sort of graduate or not. Perhaps it's the opposite. Perhaps the more you're reincarnating, the more that's a symbol of how you're gathering more. You're failing. Yeah, you're magnetizing in the wrong direction, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's we're here because we're a bunch of dunces.
Yeah.
Maybe. You never know. Maybe most beings are at much higher vibration than us.
Yeah, that dawned on me just earlier today.
Yeah.
And that's like the Indian
really
flag.
Cool. I like it.
The Indian flag reminds me of that. Every time I see that karma wheel on it, it's like they're reminding that that's what you want to jump off of. Right? Maybe.
Yeah,
maybe. Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's a wild ride. Let's go again.
Definitely
Yeah.
a wild ride for sure.
That's all I know. That's all we know.
Yeah.
I would like to, before another round, at least see what it's like from a conscious perspective after the breath leaves, and maybe after a couple thousand years of contemplation from both sides of the equation, give that another go. If necessary.
See, to me, most of these interpretations of the afterlife seem like hell, even the positive ones. I don't want to have access to all information and all knowledge. I really don't, because what would I even want with it at that point?
Yeah, that like that idea of returning to the Godhead type thing.
Yeah.
I think.
What would I want that for?
Right. I think that's also a very arrogant disposition, and what makes us think that we ever came from that to begin with. That's another one. And why would you want that? Because that would be a position. Perhaps the reason why I have no memory is if that is correct.
It would almost be like being nothing at that point.
No room to reflect like we can right now and have an awareness for room for a consciousness. That would be the point.
Yeah.
Because all this is basically no consciousness.
Right. That's why I would ask like the psychedelic heads I used to hang out with. I'd be like, are you okay with just after this, this life, nothing? That's it. No you, no nothing. Are you okay with that? Like kind of like, and it's quiet. They want to talk about like the mandalas that they see and all this other stuff when the flower of life, when they, the realms, the waiting room. And all. It's like, but who's the I that's experiencing? Are you, there's a chance where there will be nothingness, complete nothingness. And maybe it's not like all bad per se, but it's definitely, and you might not just be able to put your finger on this human way of looking at things. You might not be able to put our finger on it.
Well, they've detected a record. There's a record of things in the magnetic field of planets and solar systems and galaxies. So
a record,
yeah.
For this very reason, that's why I'm focused on the cocoon and the cocoon state in the now. Taking as much responsibility for that, making sure that the potential of that has every chance to achieve itself as much as possible. Because what other chance have you got for something as a continuum after if you don't do that?
Yeah.
You might be traumatized, whatever you think yourself is, so much that you're like, you don't go back, or you come back at something else. Put yourself in a situation to succeed.
This is sorry, we were talking over to you.
That's okay.
Go ahead.
No, I was just trying to push it out real quick. I was just saying, might as well put ourselves in a position to succeed.
Yeah,
in the best way we know. Be strong and nimble and all that.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're in the current disposition for a reason.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, of all the possibilities, we're this at this moment, right? So, what else would there be to do? You got two choices. Well, three kind of. Two is kind of the same, I guess. One is to take full responsibility for it. The other is to not do that and either discard it off yourself, or do that slowly by being irresponsible. Either two is probably going to result in the same. What would be the point of that? You know, it's my view on that.
Yeah. What's the point?
Yeah, I mean, even while you're here, that's not going to result in a very good outcome. But after the fact, it's probably more than likely, that there's going to be some kind of effect there.
I think
it's a bit of a
it's
a bit of a presumption. Maybe not. I mean, I see breath completely leaving the vessel, but does everything not go with the breath when it parts?
Everything vibrates, right? So everything vibrates at a frequency. So if you have a small addition to the frequency of the universe, wouldn't you rather make that a positive one?
Yeah. The most interesting picture I've got in the movie of this is the movie Enter the Void. I don't know if you ever heard of Enter the Void, where it's from it's a guy that's living in Japan, and he gets murdered. Spoiler alert: he gets murdered, and before he got murdered, he was reading the Tibetan Book of the Dead and taking DMT, and it follows his consciousness as it travels different bardos and stuff, and goes back in time. It goes back and looks at his life, because what's cool about it's like it starts off in the first person perspective, the camera, as the guy, and then as he quote unquote dies or passes on, like it switches to like a ephemeral thing floating around, looking at all the people he knows. And then it drops into a third person perspective of certain moments that imprinted on his life. It's very interesting like that. Like, for example, like what if that's the case? Like right now above me, there's, this is the thing. I mean, remember Tupac said, like, my only wish my only fear is reincarnation. And if I do, just allow me to watch a little parts of my life before I move on, and that movie really gets that. Yeah. It's really interesting. It's kind of hard to watch too. Sometimes.
There was an interesting idea that I came across. What if when we die, we experience our lives through the eyes of those we interact with? What would your life be like?
Yeah, that's cool. That's awesome. Like I heard McCann. Oh, we'll ask what would your life be like?
Yeah, like what would you experience?
Certainly not
or of some sort, because that's pretty expanded awareness.
Yeah. So every interaction, like you interacting with me now, you see when you die, you see and experience life through me.
John says he's screwed if that's the case. Yeah. Terrence McKenna had a he had a logistical way of looking at what you just said, Max. He was saying that one of the theories he has fun with is like when you pass away, you're simultaneously looking at your life through the people, through your ancestors.
Okay.
Watching you, and at the same time, all your children and your children's children, until it gets to a point where there's nobody left.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but what you
all
said though
those
is
eyes on you, judging you.
yeah. But what you said though, oh, this is how I see, Max and unification. Like you're seeing it through my eyes.
Yeah. So you'd be
Which
the emotions that I'd be having in our interaction.
Which with you guys though, I have to say you're in good hands with me. It's like oh, this is good. He thinks he thought I was pretty cool. Whereas someone else that you may not have see the same thing, and maybe it's someone that spends a lot more time with you than I do. that would be a trip. That'd be kind of uncomfortable sometimes, but a good lesson, right?
Yeah.
Now you make me think. I hope to be far away from most of humanity, if that's the case.
Wouldn't that make you want to sit alone in a cave for the rest of your life?
Is that what the Bodhidharma was doing? Looking at the wall.
He was avoiding the.
Yeah, just leave me alone.
The replay.
Yeah. All right, Truth to Cop. I'm about to reply real quick. I'll send it. Yeah. Oh man, we got a question. First of all, I want to read Marilyn's comment up here. She says, "In the kingdom of God, you never have to be disloyal to one to prove your loyalty to another. To require that of anyone is control and manipulation, which is the most basic form of witchcraft. Never have to be disloyal to prove that you're loyal to them." Yeah,
I'm loyal to principle.
Oh, the principle?
As it makes sense, yeah. It's which even that is fluid. So, if you want to call it morality or whatever, some would, I guess. It's very personal. I won't. I have a personal compass and bar standards that I'm not going to bend for anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm loyal to that.
I try to be a good person.
That's from my view. It's different. I don't view good person, bad person. Those are just more subjective.
It would be to add benefit instead of detriment to
the
world around me.
Right.
Yeah, I got a lot of opportunities for that for my career, dealing with all these students, 5 times a week. Yeah, put to the test. Like, I think I'm a good person, but it's like, wow.
Yeah.
There's a lot of.
I guess I could say that same thing with when I was saying earlier with that. What are we really trying to ask when we ask the question, who are we? Same kind of context with this. When we're defining this, because it is a definition, good person, bad person, what are we really trying to ask? Max sort of went into his a little bit there. So, what does that mean to you?
Who am I? Yeah.
No, the good person.
Oh, good person?
Yeah.
I'll go with what I first said. Do others see me as a good person?
Oh, so living up to other people's definition of that. I'd be careful with that if I were you.
No, for sure. And you know what? Also, what I did there, like I came with what first came to mind. Even though in that quick instance, I had a knowing that doesn't feel so comfortable. What I said, but it did come first, though. You know what I mean? So I might not be moving like that entirely, but
we
it did come up.
We judge ourselves often by what the people around us think.
Yeah, right. There's a lot of that.
Yeah.
This is why people are if I'd be like cynical, like this is why society is so messed up in a lot of ways, because everyone's calibrating each other off everyone else's persona or whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's the basis for pop culture right there.
Yeah.
And then you get all this distractionary things. People get insecure.
Yeah.
And then people start doing crazy things to each other because of that insecurity. And it's all very dishonest.
Yeah, it is.
And that's where it leads back to what I was saying for myself earlier. That standard bar for myself, the pinnacle of it, has to do with honesty. Honesty to self, first and foremost.
Yeah. As long as you know yourself and what you're like, you know.
Yeah.
You know, nobody wants to be not accepted, right?
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to feel that. So there is that. But at the same token, do you accept yourself? It's the real question.
Yeah, they say you got to love yourself before you can love others.
Yeah.
You know, so.
I do. However, I'll be like Patrick Bateman. You can always be better. Do it better.
Right.
There's always room for improvement.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think if I did that more, I would have a lot more confidence and be at ease. I feel prepared.
Right. The insecurity will melt away.
Yeah.
That's what comes with that, right? When you accept yourself and you take responsibility for yourself, and that's your sole focus.
Yeah.
Everything you have the strong foundation to stand.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I could be more like in general, a cat rather than the dogs, even though I love my dogs. Like, they're very anxious a lot of times, and maybe they're copying me or whatever, but that's another story. But like the dogs in general, a lot of times they're very restless, because they're trying to please a lot and read. They're masters of human emotion, like trying to, reading things and whatnot. But like a cat probably is a master too. However, they seem like they're very confident in what they are, and that's why they feel at home wherever they go. Seem at home wherever they go for the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just chill.
I had a great conversation with you guys.
World,
I got to step out. I have class in half an hour. So thank you very much for the conversation. This is great.
All right, Max. Thank you. Appreciate you, man. That was fun. Great build. Great build.
Again. I might pop in and see you if you're live. Man.
All right.
Cool. The great Max Visions, everybody.
Interesting you mentioned. Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Interesting you mentioned the animals there.
Mm-hmm.
It's another thing that I take a lot of time in observing, especially because I live most of the time in nature with animals. So I observe and see how they function, and again, I try and look at them through the eyes of being feral. And I just see humans as being so upside down with their arrogance. Humans thinking that they're so much superior and more intelligent and evolved. And it looks like to me the opposite is the case. It seems that animals are far more intellectually developed than humans are, and far more in tune with the essence of reality.
Yeah. I read last year. I read Animal Farm with my high school students for the class, and look at the ones, the animals that were the most brutish and awful, and it was the animals the pigs who dressed like humans and tried to take on their ways, while they subjugated the animals that were feral. They were domesticating animals on the Animal Farm, but more or less they were more feral, right? Than those domesticated tyrant pigs.
Right.
Yeah.
To a degree, it doesn't. I see the opposite too. I see domesticated animals seeming to not realize so much when they are domesticated, but humans are completely oblivious to their own domestication. Completely, and they, to the point where they not only embrace it, but they actually do the dirty work and are proud of it to the farmers on behalf of the farmers, and touting it as freedom.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah. Yet they wear their special collar, their special.
Yeah. Badge and a gun or blue collar, whatever, and all proud of it.
Yeah.
And then the fake capitalism wealth, right? And look at me, I've got. I'm going to pretend that this is mine. I'm going to pretend that I own it, and the epitome of fake virtue. I earned it. Oh my lordy. I fucking earned it. As if breath needs to be earned. Like, holy, did you miss the boat?
Yeah. And then some of us enable others by saying, you deserve it. You deserve that.
Right. Yeah.
Now you say it to me that. Quick pro quo.
Right. And a false sense of lopsided entitlement. As if, because you followed the fantasy of entitlement by declaration or claim through hard work or whatever it is, somehow that makes you more entitled to a grain of sand that's sitting somewhere than somebody else. How does that work?
Yeah. I think it's like years of successful imprints of that type of behavior and reinforcement from society and
embrace imprints. Right. Like that's what I'm saying. The domestication. This is where the ultimate distraction comes in, because I hear a lot of people, back to the pot and kettle thing, always blaming and focusing on blame instead of responsibility. And the ultimate blame is pretty much a boogeyman, the government.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Instead of looking around and going, wait a second, who's the one who's actually doing this oppression to me? I am.
You
with
are,
my peers. With my peers, we're doing it to each other. Why are we doing this lunacy to each other? Why don't we just relax and cooperate together? Because that's another option.
Yes, yeah. They go, and I think of Paul and Slave in them, and all the other auditors and stuff. Like, if you guys would make our job easier, our work much easier, if we just got on board. It's hard to do it by yourself. It's like the essay question from my junior high school kids yesterday. We brainstormed yesterday in class, and then we write next week on this essay topic. It's like, should children do chores, right? And it's like, dude, it's like 85% of the kids were like, no, they shouldn't do it. It was only like a handful that were like yes. And then I go, why? Explain, please. They go, well, because we're part of the family, and we can't just put it all on our mom and dad. We got to pull our weight too. But like very few, like saw it as that. Yeah, saw it as that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I think this is where language is very interesting. That word chore doesn't sound very appealing.
It don't.
Right?
Yeah,
so maybe if we
it
change
doesn't.
it to something else, that sounded a little more pleasant. Do you want to do something more helpful?
Yeah.
And a lot of these other things too, like
you want to contribute.
Earn and contribute. Exactly.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Be a part of. You want to be included in this you're making dinner.
I'm sure you can help me out with this, because there's something I've been dealing with, and I do, to be transparent, I do feel kind of bad about. What's up, Ragamuffin? I do. Good to see you, bro. I do feel kind of blame myself a little bit, even though blame is stupid. That's the word that points to it, right? It's the fact with my younger students, because they're so excited when they come to see me, because they've been going to school all day. Then they come to my English program, my academy, and they're all riled up, because they've been sitting since 7 to 4. Now they got to sit again and learn English, and I'm like, a lot of times I want them. I really want them to get this so they can get off this island or whatever they need to do with the English they learn, right? And so a lot of times, if they're not completely focused, I'm like, as someone's like doing something, I go, hey, you, like, pay attention, because I know that they're not going to get I feel like they're not going to get the concept. I'm like, and I'm like micromanaging so much, and that and I know that's not healthy, probably for them or for me. But then again, like, I don't know anything else. Like, I know I've tried, like, writing their name on the board, telling them the consequences. Like, we're gonna take some time off your recess break. If you keep on, like, talking out of turn or
Mhm.
talking side conversations or whatever, or you know, you're gonna have to write sentences or whatever, or go see the administrator. But I don't like having the police like that, man. I want to, you know, but
Mhm.
but then again, in this Prussian school system way of doing things, it's kind of part of. I'm not just teaching the subject; you're teaching also how to, right?
You're teaching
Okay.
obedience,
Obedience, yes,
and that's
yes, and
highest of fake virtue.
yeah,
That's the
and
ultimate form of oppression.
yeah, and I feel it, Guru, and I don't like the feeling, man. But I need to get through my lessons too, so I don't know.
Well, this is, I mean, oof, you hit on a deep thing, you know,
Yeah.
right here. This right here is the crux of why state-sponsored curriculum in school. It's not education; it's training. It's
Yes.
and you are a part of that. So that's what
I am. I know that.
I can see the humanity in you is questioning that, which is natural, right? Because
Mhm.
you know something inside you is wrong about this, right?
Yeah.
So the only thing is now you're in a I can help lead you to the ultimate solution here, but you're in a predicament and a conundrum here because you're doing it for your livelihood in capitalism.
Yes. Yes. And I know the easiest thing to do. I mean, well, yeah, easiest thing slash regardless of the consequences or immediate, like it's to just like do something else, right?
That's really what it leads to, yes,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
fundamentally, right? And
Mhm.
this is let me just this is not aimed towards you or anybody in particular. This is
Mhm.
just my observation in seeing what it is. Abuse is abuse,
Yeah.
and there is no excuse for it. The fact that we're being paid for it doesn't justify it. In fact, it makes it even
And
worse, if anything.
and not only that, excuse me, but like I'm getting paid the best I've ever got paid. like it's like really. I mean, yeah, I already know I don't want to do this for forever, and I have other goals, but like I get paid pretty damn good for what I have to do. However, it's gut wrenching, bro, in a lot of ways. You know, I'm not trying to be
Yeah.
dramatic or anything, but like
No,
I have a lot of. I care
to a
about the
person,
kids too and myself.
right? Yeah, to a person who's honest with themselves, you would say these things.
Yeah.
A person who is dishonest with themselves would still feel it. They would just suppress it in favor of that paycheck, whatever. You know, that's really the only two things that are going on here. But that's the truth of the matter is, this curriculum that you're a part of, you know, there's nothing healthy, and this is another reason why I use like the different things that I use for discernment. Is it healthy or is it toxic? What you're a part of? These kids, are they a part of something that's healthy or toxic every day, day in and day out? This curriculum, right?
Right.
Is it abusive? Non abusive? Is it harmful or not harmful? Going through this every single day.
Yeah. And you know what? Another thing too, which is it puts me in a weird conundrum because some of the classes, like there's kids that they definitely don't want to be there, and it's a waste of time for their waste of money for their parents. It's a waste of time for me. It's a waste, and it's a waste of time for the kids that actually do want to be there. Because there's some kids that just they like the experience, right or wrong, or what do you want to call them. And those are the students I love in a sense because it's like they bought onto the indoctrination system. They're good. They're good, and they're actually it's a lot of fun to have with them. But that's very few. You know?
Sure, and maybe they're also more passionate about specific things.
They actually like it. They actually really like they learn the English and stuff, or commune with us.
I remember having a science teacher that was having we played racquetball together. And so we got to talk a little bit about the view of what it looks like to teach through teacher's eyes as I was a kid, you know, which was interesting conversations. And he said to me once, you know, this is a problem with, he even said it this time, the same types of things. The problem with the curriculum is if you got 11 students, you need 11 programs.
Yeah.
Right.
Indeed.
And and this is the way it should be for healthy learning. Each individual has their own pace to go at. That's natural. It's healthy. Their own interests, their own things that they're enthusiastic, and that changes. And that's what, if anything, healthy guidance would lead them to do. We would also encourage them to take the reins as soon as they had critical thinking, teach critical thinking, and let them after that hands off. Embrace learning. Learning is a self responsibility more than it is teaching from another source. You're going to be taught, of course, but there's plenty of teachers to go around when I'm interested in pursuing the learning myself.
Yes, was something that I had a great passion for. I had a ravenous desire to learn and like read and study, and like in 2011, around that time, where I got like crazy into that, and which was very different than growing up and like not liking school. And the only reason I did like the bare minimum was like play sports, which I love to do.
Right.
Yeah. And so yeah, when you love to learn, oh man, there's not enough time in the day. There's not enough time in the day.
Suddenly this word chore is that's not a thing anymore.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah.
And you embrace it.
That's bad magic, bad spelling, as we say. That's it. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
And not to mention, especially in this day and age, the curriculum in state-sponsored corporate school is so far away from the fundamentals of what an individual really needs for their own sustenance. When's the last time you saw a grow your own food course or foraging course, right?
Yeah, the closest I got to that was like seeing some of this Montessori curriculum, certain Montessori schools, and other things like practical learning, education. Yeah, which I really think is cool. But yeah,
instead, go ahead.
The specific purpose of like this is turning out the school is, even though my school is probably one of the best, one of the best English academies in the city I live in. It's pretty competitive. With that said, it still has this archaic of Prussian. I keep going to the Prussian school system. I don't know what else to call it. Modified Prussian school system thing. I tell you what to learn, not how to learn. But I guess my guiltiness comes in of myself is, with that said, Gabriel, there's always a way where you can not just squeeze things in, but have a good fundamental base of critical thinking, try to teach them these things.
Well, fundamentally, somebody telling you how to critically think actually is not how critical thinking works.
Right.
So that's a self-discovery and a self-chosen thing. Like, I'm an example of this because I grew up in the same. Right. I grew up in the same state-sponsored curriculum and indoctrination, whatever, and I just chose a path that is not very orthodox, very uncommon, which is to critically think. But that's something that's available for anybody to do. And this idea that we're only going to do that more when my pop culture parrots are doing it more would still not be critical thinking if that was the reason. Right. So even while this is going on, that still could be embraced. But that's not to undermine a healthy reminder. It doesn't have value. It sure does. And at the same token, the state-sponsored curriculum is very, very intensively staged to get you to be abused if you start doing that while you're there. You gave a couple examples of that, and it was notorious for me too. This wandering, if you're not paying attention, blah blah blah. I lived in the day at the tail end where if you did too much of that, I think it was grade 3 when they finally cut this out. some of them were nuns, some of them were teachers. They would whack a meter stick over your knuckles and stuff. You know,
I heard about that.
Yeah.
Damn. Corporal punishment.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? So it's all of that is again on the tout of obedience being virtuous, and that's a complete abuse of the mind and total gaslight. Very, very toxic for a mind to be
Absolutely.
staged and practicing that.
Yeah, double imprint with trauma. Damn, that's why they're doing it too.
Yeah. So now you've got more than just it's one thing if you MK Ultra yourself completely, but it's another if you literally sit somebody in a prison camp, call them institution, because that's what it is, where they're literally chastised if they didn't raise the hand to go to the fucking bathroom. Right? Suddenly that's not virtuous to do, right?
Yeah.
So, and to the point where you're going to be punished and even physically abused if you don't follow orders, right?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was watching a reel like with my son the other day, and it was this guy. He was saying like, can you imagine like how like back in the day we if we wanted to get water, we had to wait till recess to get a drink of water at the fountain. Because now kids have water bottles. It's like they literally were keeping us dehydrated.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. I lived through that. There was times where it was so hot out, I remember, and we were at recess or lunch, and they needed to get everybody back into roll call quick enough. The line, they literally gave you, and they counted 3 seconds of water.
I think I've had one of those days. Wow, you're bringing it back. 3 seconds. That's
3 seconds.
Motherfucking boot camp shit. Like when my friend in the Marines, Larry, he's like, yeah, they gave us like 5 seconds to go to the urinal. Or something stupid. And not only that, they had to share the urinal, they said. Like two guys to a urinal. It's like, and a lot of these schools, it's the same setup, right? As a prison. Same construction firms and whatnot. Huh?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. You know?
Yeah.
If you look at it, the way the building is designed, the door, everything. They don't call it an institution for nothing.
Yeah. And in that institution, like the great John Taylor Grotto, he said that you think that like most of what your kids are learning is from the teacher, but in fact it's the students, the chin pop, right? That's a lot of times that's not so good, right? The bad habits and whatnot, and
that's what I was subjected to a lot, and in my day, because I was the outspoken one that asked questions. You know, that annoying kid that would not to be a smart aleck, but I thought I was supposed to. This is the place where we come to learn, right? So the abuse, which was mostly from the peers, was never. Hardly ever stopped. In fact, sometimes it was even encouraged by the teachers.
Oh, that sounds like Did You Order the Code Red? Like where that movie A Few Good Men, where Jack Nicholson, the colonel, he turned a blind eye. Lightweight encouraged the self-policing, the policing of the weak link, so-called weak link on that. Not that well, I guess the kid that asked a lot of questions would be considered the weak link in terms of being a fucking cog in the wheel.
Yeah, right? It was more the because of the obedience factor, right? Like I don't know how it is now. It's probably to some degree worse, to some degree different. But when I was there, you didn't want to be that kid who could get the rest of the peers in trouble. So if you were the one doing that, then that's why you get dogpiled.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So they wanted you to shut up, and then they wanted to all be teacher's pet. I didn't. I wasn't interested in that. You know, I was interested in learning, or just what the fuck am I doing here mostly.
Yeah. The teacher pet, like always, like in that same video, the guy was like the teacher pet always He always was early to class, the first person in class. He's like, I don't know how early this kid got there, but it was always before me. Except this one time I missed the test and I had to come 30 minutes earlier. He said that teacher's pet was already there. Was already there. He's all, did he even leave school? And it's true. The teacher's pet, like I have mine. They get there always first, right? And they check my ink pens to make sure everything's good, and they have ink in them, and like we don't use the chalkboard anymore. We have those those pens, right? And like always like asking all these questions and stuff like that, which is cool. But then again, it's like they're also the first person to tell on people.
Right.
Teacher, this person's doing this. Yeah.
Yeah, and everybody's doing this again, snitch on snitch and fake virtuousness for nothing, and nobody's innocent here. Everybody's completely being heinous. But on the surface, everybody's sitting there and pretending that this is all civilized.
It's civilized, right? Which can't be any farther than the truth. That's another layer of weirdness. Yeah.
Total occult brainwashing bullshit is what that is. Mm-hmm. Again, anybody who's honest with themselves is going to see right through that. It just so happens that not only did I got tortured for it because I didn't keep my mouth shut. Here's an interesting question, since you're doing the teacher thing. Do you see a report card as a measurement of intelligence?
No. To be quite honest, I see it as a measure of how well they play the game at school. Well, there are certain metrics, yes, that do hit that. Like, I guess. Well, first of all, intelligence. Intelligence is what? So, are we talking this cerebral intelligence?
This could go into a lot of directions there.
Yeah.
That's how I didn't say anything after.
Yeah,
I still won't.
I'll let you come. Yes and no. I'm always yes and no, like with almost everything. Yes, it does, and yes, it doesn't. Yeah, especially in our school, because like we don't, since the main priority is to learn English and be able to speak and express yourself in it. We don't. We have report cards for sure, and we leave comments on the report card, but it's not as like as stringent as like their day school, with it's a little looser because it's more of like a once over, like a quick surface level, like, oh, this is how they're doing here, this is what they can work on right here.
Right.
But yeah, I guess intelligence of how good you are in the class, but does that translate to how good you are at learning, how proficient you are in English in my case?
Right. Isn't it interesting how right off the pop, the very place that you're supposed to go that's touted based on developing intelligence, at least it's supposed to be, right? That there's even a balking of that question when it's asked.
Yeah.
Like that should just be a complete slam dunk unresounded yes, right? But here's my view. Yes and no, definitely. Mostly no. A little bit yes. It's sort of masqueraded in there, but mostly it's a measurement of obedience.
You got it.
Now, ironically, if you look at how capitalism works, if you have a big bank account, is that a measurement of wealth?
No, it's a measurement of you have a lot of money. Well, a small, not holistic wealth. I think wealth is like not just money, but it's like, like, are you living the good life, man? And meaning like health. Like health is wealth, but money's a big part of it. But
we're just talking about the bank account.
What's that?
Because we're just talking about the bank account, because that was what I pointed to.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
What you can do with it is, you know, you can do things with that, of course. But
Yeah, gives you options.
yeah. So it was a bit of a loaded question, but I'll just cut to the chase with it. It correlates to the two. You see, a bank account is basically another report card, and it's not a measurement of wealth at all. It's also a measurement of dependency and obedience. It's like dog treats, right? That's what a paycheck is. You're a good obedient sheep, so you get this, and now you get privilege, permission notes that you can go and take things off of a shelf in a store.
Yeah. Even if you're a YouTuber and it's your dream job, it's still, like,
yeah,
because you're still giving your time because the job or
you're
career
being
labor.
right. You're being obedient to the system that you were trained to do so when you're in school. It just continues. Right? That's what it set the stage for exactly that. And to do that without much question, in fact, to do that with anybody who does question it again, it continues the same critical thinking. What happens to them? They get chastised. They continue to be abused, right?
I was about to say, like, there's no place for that. There's no place for that for the people like that.
Right. Suddenly, all of a sudden, this homeless person, all of a sudden, is like they're the lowest epitome scum. How did that happen?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That's all brainwashing.
Yeah, and then it's like with the Tommy thing, with the ruthless and all that. Like when I was mad at him, like, it was easy to call him, like, you stream from a dumpster and all this stuff. But then there was always part of me, that's some petty stuff because I don't like him at the moment. However, there is, even though he never ceases to have us forget the fact that he's doing that on his own accord, there is something admirable about what he's doing, in a sense. Like he's making his way on his own terms. Seems like, right?
Yeah, and
but
all
society
that
doesn't see it like that.
Yeah, society does, and this is where where it all comes full circle. Why it's important to accept yourself. If you accept yourself, it doesn't matter how the others fucking view you, and it doesn't, right? Because ultimately, all this stuff that we're focusing on here with this stuff is very superficial and completely distractionary from the ultimate thing, which is what your stream is about. Not the who you are, but what are you, and what is this all about? Why am I here? What the fuck does that have to do with the fact that I have breath and so do you? That's divine, right? Even an insect has this.
Yeah, you're right. An insect.
Yes.
Oh my god, that makes me feel certain kind of bad.
Welcome to reality.
Damn mosquitoes.
Right.
Even the mosquitoes, man.
Yeah, and there's a bit of fuck. I gotta self-defend myself. The other thing wants to leave me alive. But oh my god, it's got divine breath too.
It's
I really don't want
to,
right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's important. I think having that crosshold is where an individual, as a human being, may be able to start to awaken to that thing that you're pointing to with those scripts from that fella there. And then put it all back into perspective with a cocoon. And that's not going to change humanity as a whole, unless if some fluke happened in all of humanity. We're not a hive, but it's going to change you and what you experience and the result for you in your life. And that's what counts.
Well, it does. That's what matters. Yeah. That's what matters. We're literally reading a book for my high school students, my writing 3 class, where it's called La Sientra. I guess it means like the storyteller, and it's about this little girl in the future. She's 13 years old, Petra, and her parents are famous geologists, and Halley's Comet is about to hit the Earth. So there was a major solar flare, and it's about to hit the Earth, right? And because it moved the route of Halley, not to just skim by Earth, but actually it's going to hit Earth next time it comes around. So the powers that be get together and then decide to, the motif, we want to keep only the best scientists, the best minds to go off world and start over again because the planet is about to be destroyed. right? So her family is chosen, but it's just her and her brother, and her mother and father, and 38 other people in the world, and that doesn't include her grandmother who raised her, who was the storyteller that connected her to her Mesoamerican ways and whatnot through stories, and that was very valuable. And so she has to go. So what I'm saying is she has to go into this artificial cocoon and be asleep for 380 years before they make it to the planet Sagan, right? To start over, and 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 they have these programs like Matrix where they jack you up, and you learn all this shit real quick. So as she's sleeping, she's gonna learn everything there is about biology and botany, so she can help out like her parents, right? And what her parents got her to agree to do this shit is because she begged them to put a storytelling program in there with all the famous mythology of the world, so she can bring the stories to the humans, right? Because she thought that was important, because her grandmother instilled the importance of narratives in her, right? So right before they're about to take off, spoiler alert, right before they're about to take off, the ship's overrun, and they have to like get in their artificial cocoon, like gel thingy, to preserve them, right? And they don't get the lead technician said don't give her the stories, and she's just dying inside because she can hear them. She's supposed to be asleep, but it didn't work yet. That she's not going to get the stories, and she's just like, oh my god, just like. But the point is, what I'm saying is like, it's very interesting how the cocoon metaphor we started 2 weeks ago is literally manifesting itself in the story I'm reading. How important that being asleep but also learning, observing, but you can still learn is like very. It's resonating with me right now, man.
Yeah, the perspective of that is pretty profound, very revealing.
Yeah,
and it's so obvious when we see it, right? Like it's not. We can see. I mean, it's kind of metaphoric, I guess, but what it's pointing at is not metaphoric. And that's the point.
Mm-hmm.
To see that we're still, the vessel itself is amazingly autonomously in so many different ways carrying out a process, millions of processes simultaneously.
Yeah.
And then while that's going on, what's the thing that's experiencing that? And to see that there's a separation there is the beginning of understanding what you are. When you get a cut, you don't have to think about it healing, do you?
No.
When you touch something, you didn't have to think about having an interpretation that you're touching something. You just experience that feeling.
Right.
Something is doing the experiencing. Something is doing the observing. And something is not deciding any of that. Something is not. We don't sit there and think, vessel grow little by little every day. All of this just happens.
Yeah.
And the beautiful part about being a being like this is you get to mostly just relax and observe and have the rest of the process unfold while you experience it. All you really have to do is make sure that you're in tune with the needs of that.
Yeah.
Which sounds simple, right? I mean, it's a tall order, but you got everything that you need internally to make sure that you're doing it right, and a hell of a lot of cushion room to fuck up if you're not arrogant and learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
Right. And have this process carry out. I couldn't think of a more perfect arena for an energy transformation and growth in that, really.
Yeah, that's the metaphor. in a lot of ways, man. Yeah, because with the Barfield stuff earlier, we were talking about like how the he was talking about how metaphors is a big thing. That's this whole thing's about you only can point at things, but man, the body in it's it says it all right there.
Yeah, and then
How you perceive it.
taking that understanding and now looking at it, what goes on in corporatocracy, it becomes very easy how detrimental to that it is to be a part of that by choice. All of a sudden now we might have a different perspective. Do I really want to do this to a detriment to myself? And then if the answer is no, how do I remove myself from that? How do I start to walk a path that is healthy and in line so that I am feeding and nurturing this cocoon vessel of mind the way it needs to be and so on. And when that happens, everything else starts to fall into place. All the rest of the answers come one step at a time.
Yeah. I know that too. I definitely have a knowing of that.
Yeah. Innately, you're going to know that. You're hearing me say that right now from a place that's going to resonate. Because you're actually hearing it come from a place of me doing that, but I'm touching your instinctual centers right now. It's not theoretical. Same concept as when you're hungry, you know what hunger feels like. You need to eat, right? You know that you need to feed this vessel with the right things. You know that toxicity is a detriment. It's basic, very, very basic thing. I think that, and this is the thing, all I'm doing here is just putting a reminder out that the corporate world is staged by design to be a distraction from that. No judgment on the equation. It's not about good or bad, but it's for the benefit of other entities, if you want to call that, other people, blah blah blah, that are farming humans. That's obvious to me. That's another thing that I realize. Go ahead.
On a dead body, because every time you say corporation, I think of corpus.
Yeah.
Like
zombified, walking Night of the Living Dead type thing.
Yeah, and you said farming people. It's farming people. Yes, human resources. Yeah.
Yes, like a city and a town is just a people hive. It's a human farm.
Yeah, I was gonna say animal farm. It's a human farm. Yeah,
human farm.
It is.
That's all it is. Yeah. For a lot of different types of
things,
energies, physical, mental, etherical. I mean, so many things. And it doesn't take too much research to actually get to the bottom of the thing.
That's ugly, but true. That's so fun. Outside the door, all these row houses here. We have nice cages. How nice is your cage?
There it is. Yeah. Now you can start to put it together, and all the things that people do obliviously in these people farms.
Oh God.
That are so toxic for them. Driving petrol cars, spraying fucking petrol fumes one after another down your fucking suburb street all night long while you're sleeping. It's just insane. And a big cloud of petrol gas hovering over the sky of the town and the city all day long. People are suffocating in this beeple hive, and they don't even know it. And that's why you can't think clearly, because you need oxygen to your brain.
Yes,
it's like smoking.
Like right now, I literally can't right now. I haven't been sleeping enough too, and that's horrible. That's not good. It's how the hell? What's the point of having all these highfalutin, like cool, high-powered, like insights when your vessel is your cocoon is just come on, man.
Yeah, at best at that point you're sitting there looking at a potential, but it's a pipe dream. That's a nice fantasy. Well,
it
didn't have to be a fantasy, but you want to choose to just sit there and fester in the toxic soup bath. And
Guru, I go like because I have these things. I have 2 times a year. I just got done with the month-long like Lunar New Year holiday off, right? And then I have the summer holiday, like about 2.5 months off, right? And the last 2 years, I'm like, okay, I'm going to hit this. I'm going to start off and do the, the system reboot, be good now and do this. But it's like, I feel like, oh man, I just need to relax from all the, because I'm like, I can't start these new things because of I'm trying to, take care of all my responsibilities at work. And it's like, but I can't wait like that, man. I got to just do it. Just do it.
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta implement. All I can say to that is, breath is a limited quantity, a limited commodity, right? And every single breath that you take is one closer to your last every day. And tomorrow is a certainty to come, but whether you will be here or not is not a certainty. So waiting and procrastinating is not going to serve you very well.
No.
Because while that's going on, the vessel and this potential here is being sacrificed. You got to ask yourself the question, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Why? No. Why am I doing that to myself? Right. So.
Because part of me,
I did it. Go ahead.
I was going to say, a part of me knows that it could, because I know, I've been knowing that it's going to be, it has to be a complete lifestyle change. But maybe I'm putting too much on it the way I say it, though, too. Just like the chores thing. But realistically, bare bones, it does. It does.
It is a lifestyle change, and it could be, it might look overwhelming too. Which
that's it.
If you look at it all in one thing, it probably will be. So you got to take it down then into attainable steps, and just put things together. Put one foot in front of each other, and don't be boggled by like the whole picture and having to do. Don't put expectations on yourself that are unreasonable, but just make the steps and gain a momentum, and then keep going like that, and get there, and then don't look back. It was not overnight for me to get like this. Believe me, I'm still learning it. It's like every day, it still feels like I'm scratching the surface with a lot of things, But I started a long time ago, and I did the same thing in my 20s. I was grew up being musician type, and I hated the idea that I couldn't just enjoy playing music, and that's all I really wanted to do. So I thought to myself in my 20s, well, I'm going to just try and cut the work your ass off till you're like 50 or 60 or whatever, and then retire at that time. Cut that bullshit down into a few short years as possible.
Yeah.
So I just went hardcore, right? Like I just any work that I could get, or I did a whole bunch of businesses and blah blah. And in theory, I kind of had a good idea, but in reality, I forgot about balance. And it was a blessing in disguise, because by my late 20s, my health just went, and I almost died. But while that was a big kick in the nuts, it set the stage for me to have a wake-up call at a very young age to learn the things that I ultimately know now. That set me on a footpath where health became the pinnacle of my focus, and replacing all the things of being dependent in the system started to happen one by one. Learning how to grow food, learning how to forage, learning how to work with nature, doing natural shelters, learning how to cooperate with other people instead of compete over this fucking debt slave notes for nothing. And just one thing after another. So it was a blessing in disguise. Fortunately, I was young enough to see that happening, where most people would probably hit that wall by the time they're 50 and 60. And then they got all this much more years ahead of them to try and reverse at that point, much more of a pickle. So it was good there.
But you have momentum still.
Go ahead.
Yeah, your momentum never really stopped, huh? From when we got serious.
Correct. Yeah, I've never looked back since. I've had a couple setbacks or two. I had another health challenge. Got hit with carbon monoxide.
Oh wow.
Yeah, that was a heavy duty.
Were you by yourself?
No, I was not by myself. I had a lady friend visiting me, and it was my stupidity. I long story short, I was already long seceded out and not living in metropolises or anything, but I had some loose ends that I wanted to tie in one. So I should have just kept my distance and not went there at all, but I did. And I got caught in rock in a hard place, living in a basement for a couple months. And there were some students that were living in the upstairs part, and they were just reckless. They had toxicity all over the place. And long story short, this one of the students' van, he left it on in the morning when I was sleeping with his exhaust pipe facing my window.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, so I woke up in a daze, and this was going on for a few days, and I didn't even realize it.
Yeah.
So, but fortunately, I had the experience from before, even though that was, again, hell to go through, to draw off of. And whereas that is deemed as well a terminally ill, nobody heals from that. Well, here I am, you know, thriving again, more than healthy forever.
Yeah. Most people don't even wake up from it the first time.
Yeah.
That's it. Families and stuff. It's crazy.
Yeah. And if you do are still alive, there's a lot of brain issue that happened, and there was, you know. I had all the kind of classic symptoms of it, and it took a long time to sort that out. But, you know, it shows how resilient the body is as well if you do the right things and if you're in the right environment. So
yeah, that's what you said about you have the leeway. However, you don't want to look as a plan to use that leeway. It's a fail state, right? It's an emergency, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, pushing your luck. Yeah, because one of these days, what happens is like you're gonna just when you thought, oh, I used to bounce back from this. This is me saying this, so I really need to be on. If I'm saying this shit now, it's like, Gabriel, you're even told yourself trying to be like, you know, virtuous in a way right now by saying this. It's like, learn from this shit. Don't just say the words, right? Oh man, damn it! Now
definitely.
I have to get serious.
It definitely would have been better to, you know, I didn't need to have as much kick in the ass as I did. That's for sure. But at the same token, you know, it is what it is. And there is value in experience. So it just, I guess there is something to the, if it doesn't kill you, makes you grow stronger. If you're doing the right things and you really overcome it, you know. I used to smoke too, but I'll never do that again. Right. Go ahead.
Yeah. Charles Darwin, he's adding on. He said carbon monoxide poisoning is bad, brain damage if you survive.
Yep. Yeah. And there was, but I healed that too. Yeah, and it's crazy brain damage, like the stuff that you experience. It's kind of scary, and it's wild because it's an internal injury. So people on the outside can't see it. They can't see what you're experiencing. So you can't really express to them what you're going through, and they don't know.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, I've seen looks like that with people, especially being in the retail field for so long. Like, why is that person sitting on a chair? They look healthy. Why are they in the handicap space? Like, it's like you don't never know what's going on, man. You never know. I mean, yeah, there's some people who are scammer a little bit, but like a lot of times people they're all battling things. They might not even let you know. Yeah, I'm trying to tread lightly, man.
Yeah, well, as resilient as a vessel it is, it's a duality. It's also very vulnerable. And I put it into perspective back with the cocoon thing that, you know, while this is going on, the metamorphosis, when a caterpillar is on some little twig somewhere, something could easily come by and just squish that thing so easily, right?
Yeah.
So very important to be not get caught up in fear. I don't want to propagate that, but responsibility, right? Very important to be meticulous when it comes to responsibility for this, because of the law of cause and effect. What happens if we don't? It's very obvious.
Yeah,
you reap what you sow here. There's no denying
that. Yeah, and some of us have more instant karma than others. the lag is less. So
that's probably attuned to maybe having more of a cushion buffer and stuff like that. But again, that could work against somebody if they're too arrogant to see. That smoking is the ultimate arrogance, is it not? Talk about it. And breath is divine, and now I'm gonna smoke all this 80,000 fucking chemicals with everything.
Yeah, it's wild, bro. And then right? Then as an ex weed smoker, it's like, oh, like that's still smoke too, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's still smoke too. Yeah. Oh man, I'm gonna probably shut it down.
All right, man.
I appreciate you coming up, man. You've been a blessing, man, in my life.
Cool. Well, I enjoy the opportunity. Thanks for having me up again.
No problem, new guru. I'll talk to you soon, man. Whatever you need.
You bet. Have a good one.
You too. Out. Be well. All right, everybody. Whew. Yeah, that's one thing. Like these conversations and streams, it's great to feel better after you come on than you did before. Yeah. I don't even Shadow Blue knows what's going on before. I didn't even tell you, man. You guys, I'll tell you someday. But yeah, this has been a great day. It's been a great day for sure. Take care, Charles Darwin. I love your energy. Cannot be matched in here. What's the matter? You as well. My stand-up philosopher, Ragamuffin. I'll be talking to you soon. Peace out to everybody. We'll see. We'll probably be chilling at Healing Law, aka Truth or Cop soon. So out to everybody. Markella, get better. Wicked. Talk to you soon. This has been formerly Who Are You stream to What Are You? Owen, Barfield, and Sagittarius Beliefs. We'll see you soon, man. Last night, man, it was wild. Love you, Ben. Peace.
Cause they did what they had to give me mine. I knew right then I had to find a way to get my money out. Cause I wanted to be a player. At night I used to sneak on the lake creep by my room window when mom and pops was asleep. On my way to go kick it The days of a young G, oh how I missed it. Coming up with my daydream, and the window rings like my man on the A-team. I look deep into my past, right? The day took me there last night.
Last night I lay in my bed. I took a trip on the other side, and I seen things I haven't seen in a long.
Hey, what's up? Roll up the windows and box your deal. Yo, you didn't have to ask twice. Gonna tackle the heel so we can keep the city like I'm on a 1, 2, 3. Like I was fly, do that. San Francisco, show like you were live.